What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Aloha Friday, and happy Aloha Friday, everyone. We've made it to the end of the week. We are here. It is time to relax and chill with DennyOC. Ahoy, ahoy, guys. We got him tracking in right now, but before we get him in, guys, we're going to get my wife in the studio. D, how are you?
I'm great. It's Aloha Friday, and it's an earlier time.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I'm excited. We even got some people across the ocean that's still up, so let's go.
Let's go. Duck and
See.
Cover. Good to see you, Duck and Cover. Thank you for joining us. Yo, yo,
Yes,
yo, we got
great.
Ronnie. What's up, Ronnie? All right.
Yes, I did. So I just read in the private chat. But yes, it is Aloha Friday, the end of the week, as Hinano said. Can't wait to speak with DennyOC. His FA, well, appearance, first voice on the channel. So that's going to be awesome to hear his story and about his collecting journey and just whatever else we end up talking about. You guys know how it goes here, random conversations that can go any which way. But just appreciate everyone for tuning in and supporting us and supporting Denny. And we may have someone else coming in. We are not sure yet. But if you are listening, you can come in anytime you want, if you want to.
Speaking of support, guys, I want to give a shout out because we do have a community supported giveaway. And shout out to the sponsor of today's giveaway today, which is Get to the Comic. Shout out to Osman Collect 63. And this is the one thing I love about Oz. Oz has been a really awesome affiliate to us. I mean, I know some of our affiliates have kids or they're doing better on other platforms, but Oz has been a really awesome affiliate. And for him to not only give back to us, that's really awesome. So shout out to Get to the Comics. Shout out to Osman Collects. And go follow him on his socials, guys. This is his X profile right here. He also has a YouTube channel. So if you go right to his X profile, you can click into his YouTube channel and subscribe to his channel. We want to try to get him to 500 subs right here. So shout out to Get to the Comics. And Get to the Comics has sponsored and supplied a McFarlane giveaway that we will announce later on in the program, guys. So stay around for that. Anything else?
I think you pretty much covered it. Thank you, Ozman. Yeah, great read, by the way, earlier today with a bunch of people on the panel.
Yeah.
Getting keeping in theme with the Star Wars thing we got going on in May, during May. It is May. Good read. So if you guys have missed it, just go back and catch the replay. Other than that, I think we are good to go.
All right. I think we need to get our guests in the studio then, eh?
Yes, eh?
All right. Hey, look at that. Look at what they got us saying over here already. And it started with Raven. I got to tell you that right now. Guys, we'll be right back.
Activate the machine. Full power.
Ladies and gentlemen, ahoy, ahoy. It is DennyOC. What is up, Denny?
Ahoy, ahoy. Aloha Friday, guys. What's going on?
Let's go, man. We are going on with you right now, and we are super stoked to have you over here. I was talking with Denny in the studio prior to us going live, and I told him I'm going to talk his brains off today, so hopefully he doesn't digitally run away from us. But how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm excellent. Thank you, guys, and appreciate you having me on. I really do appreciate the opportunity to come on and chat with you guys. Been looking forward to it all week.
All right.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome to hear. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. I mean, I first interacted with you, I want to say in BE's stream in the chats.
Yep, I believe we've chatted in quite a few. I think all of us have, like in quite a few of the different streams. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I was
me especially. I have followed BE for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, you're always in there, just like welcoming everybody, just putting in, your opinions and stuff when he's asking about the drops or whatever is coming in the future of Vivi, since it's mainly what he covers. But yeah, I was talking with some other members in the community from the Netherlands, like Jay East. I don't know if you know Jay East. He has his music spaces and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was also saying like, ahoy ahoy is like a thing that's said over there. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So yeah, when I got to see you in BE's chat, I was like, very cool. I know another like Dutch, I'm assuming Dutch person, right? That's where the ahoy comes from.
To be honest with you, it was just something I picked up, and
Oh.
I just
I thought you were a captain, man.
No, it's just one of those things. I just,
I
always
mean, you
kind
could
of
have had
done
this
it.
whole pirate story for us, and we
I
would've
know,
actually
we would have believed it.
Could be my alter ego. You don't know, right?
Yeah.
But
It's like you're descended from Blackbeard. What?
Yeah.
I could be.
Black
Oh,
Pearl.
The
Yeah.
Canadian version, right?
From up north. Yeah, but then and I think I just assumed that you were in Europe. So when I was asking you about like the time difference and you told me where you were, I'm like, oh, I had this totally wrong.
wrong impression of, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I could totally appreciate that. But, yeah, no, I'm just, I live in Canada my whole life, and it's just one of those things that I picked up along the way. It just, I've always said ahoy, ahoy everywhere I've gone. So
Wow.
I
So
guess
you're
it's
not
become my trademark now almost.
Yeah, because that's usually how I'm like, oh, Denny is here because he's saying ahoy ahoy, and I think that was wrong of me to just assume. So I have this. Your alter ego is a guy from the Netherlands. You're a
A
sea
Netherland
captain
pirate.
from the Netherlands. Yeah.
Hey guys, we got Booth in the studio. What's up, Booth?
Oh, what's up?
Hey,
Good to see you, man.
Ahoy, Booth.
hey, Danny, how
Yeah.
you doing, man?
I'm excellent, thank you. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thank you for letting me come on. Thank you for letting me come on.
Absolutely.
Of
So,
course.
guys, we had Booth on Aloha Friday last week, and he asked if he could join us today as part of the interview with Denny. And I think this is an awesome gathering of minds here. So, before we get started with the interview, Booth, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, actually, it's been a nice chill day. It's good to actually do this super early because then now we can kind of hang out and like do Netflix and chill tonight or just cruise. So, or maybe we'll watch you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
man.
late shows. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause you were
yeah.
on the reading with Oz earlier, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. That was really fun.
Yeah, Denny,
Yeah, I
Another
was.
Have you ever watched Osmond's comic book reads?
No, I should. I really should, because that was like one of the things that I was actually trying to talk my young lad into doing, was starting to do like the comic reads. That's one of his aspirations actually, is to be like a voice actor, believe it or not. So I was like, this would be a great opportunity for, he's only 16 right now, but he's practicing every day. And so, we'll see what comes of it. But I really should tune in because I'd love to hear something.
So you're a family man, and the one thing that I love about Oz is he's a family man too. And so what he's done before with these reads, and Booth, you probably had a great time with him today, is he invites families, and so he's actually had Video Shane's entire family on there to read a book. And I believe he's also had Lexi and Cosmic's family on there as well. So he is very welcoming to families, and he's just like us. You don't have to show your face; just read the book.
That's awesome. No,
So-
I definitely got to start tuning in Oz, man, for sure.
Yeah, so keep it in mind. But let's get into this interview, and we'll kind of start from the beginning. And as always, Aloha Friday, ladies first. Or it's this way, right? I was pointing the wrong way the last
wherever way I am. Yeah. So usually we just kind of like sorry.
Gotta pick up the kid.
Daughter just got out of school.
Oh,
Someone else is getting her. Or she's catching the bus. But yeah, just kind of want to start off with, if you could just give us and the audience, how you got into collecting, like how you found the space, like what brought you to where essentially we are now. We, like Hinano and I, we kind of started off meeting the community through Vivi, and then from there we kind of started transitioning and what do you call it, finding other communities and projects that we've kind of diversified ourselves with, and
Yeah.
we've met so many different people along the way. So I just kind of want to get your story on how this all started for you from the very beginning, way back when.
Well, way back when. We're talking many years ago, because I am kind
Many
of an older
moons.
gentleman. I am in my late 40s, but yeah, no, it started off probably as a kid. Hot Wheels, Lego sets, and of course, your GI Joes and your He-Mans, and growing up during that genre, we had all the cool stuff. We had all the cool toys were coming out at the time, right? And then so of course, you get your own little kind of niche collections, right? I guess from there evolved to like trading cards. Went from, especially in the 80s and 90s, the trading cards got really popular. Me being Canadian, of course, hockey, huge, lots of, back in the day, just endless amounts of pack ripping of, old score hockey cards from like 1991, right? And then from there, I kind of got away from it for many years. It wasn't until, to be honest with you, I kind of got into the crypto scene a little bit in the early 2020s.
Okay.
And I had a group of friends that, we always kind of spitballed things off each other. And, one of my guys was, like a stock guy. One of my guys was like, an antique guy. And, and so we all had our different niches. And I was always the comic guy, the movie guy,
Same.
right.
Yeah.
And
I was the geek of the group.
right 100%. And so yeah, and so we always used to just spitball things off each other. And at the time, during that time with crypto, you could pretty much throw money in the market and you can make something, right? I got into like things like chills, and then that's how I kind of came across the Comey and Omi. So I figured at the time Omi was going to be, I thought Omi was going to be like the tokenization of essentially VB, right? So I was like, it's probably a good idea to get into it. And then I realized quickly that gems were kind of the value at the time, and Omi wasn't really. So I kind of cashed in my Omi and went directly right into VV. And from there, yeah, I was just kind of came into VV blind. And I kind of was just, to be honest with you, jumped on YouTube and was like, how does VV work? You know what I mean? And that's when I came up with like guys like Caval and like OG Vault. OG was like, the man back then, right?
Yeah.
Like he had all the alpha and he had all the,
Taught us all the tricks.
you got it, right? He had all the gates and, and
All the gates.
right. And from there, like, that's how I started kind of opening up the chat, right? Like I'd always kind of, like throw a little question in here and there, but I was never too involved. It was just, like more like a Reddit kind of thing. I jump on and say, hey, what's this thought? And then I just kind of flow with the chat and just kind of read what was going on. But I always stayed kind of obscure and just off to the outskirts, right?
Yeah.
And then just, I liked the vibe, and everybody that was kind of, they all had the same kind of mindset. And at the time, everybody was winning. You know what I mean? Like at the time, during that early stages of VV, almost everybody was winning, and they were getting to collect what they loved, and like old stuff that, we probably don't have anymore, that we can't get anymore, but we can get as a digital asset. And so
Yeah.
it started, I was like getting really involved with the community, I guess, a little bit more. And then B branched out and he went on his own, and, you could say it whichever way, and B kept going, and so did the community, right? And the community kept flowing, and even though the ups and downs and the roller coasters and everything, I think we all had the same kind of mentality, right? And for the most of us, it was collect what you love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you know what I because you kind of went down memory lane, right? I want to talk about BE. And BE, I know you're watching because I saw your retweet. The thing about BE is I remember him from Skin and Bones, and I remember
Of course.
him in
The Skin and Bones
Mo,
show.
right?
Mo. Yep, Mo knows.
And the
Mo
first
knows.
time we ever Mo knows. The first time we ever collaborated with BE and Mo was a Cubathon.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
my gosh, that is the longest stream I've ever was a part of. And it was a lot of fun because those guys would like do like hijinks and late night streams, and they were really a good. They really were good paired together, right? So
for sure.
Yeah.
No, I miss Moe. Yeah, and
me too.
But yeah, no, for sure. Those were great times. You know what I mean? Like, and we still
But that's
have good times.
OGBE, right? Like, and I'm trying to break this up because because like we remember OGBE before he became informant and the drop channel, right?
Yeah.
So
no, that's what I mean. And those were like, those were the times, and now it's like, now I feel like most of you guys are family now. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's just, I keep in touch, and I might not be as involved in BB as I was back then, but like I still try to keep up with the community, at least when it comes to BB. And I think it's because most of us we don't always just talk about VV. We can talk about, especially like in most of the other cases, we can talk about, our other collections that we have, you know what I mean? Like, we can talk about actual, like, candy. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask you guys a little bit about the migration on that. And kind of what goes on. Not that I have a lot through candy, but I would just like to make sure I'm able to keep it. But no, we can all talk, and I think a lot of us same thing. Like, some people might be interested in comics, or some are in collectibles or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, we're all collecting something that we kind of want and like, for the most part. I'm sure there's people in it for their money, but. And at the end of the day, none of us are in to lose money. But me personally, I've always just been one of those guys that, it's got to give me the fizz to want it. You know what I mean? Like, I got to get that. That's what I miss about the old drop.
Pizzazz, huh?
Right. And that's what was fun about the old drop system. You know what I mean? Like, you got like almost like the rush of, the countdown, and
you gotta find your spot in the house, right?
You got it, right?
Or in town. Right next to the antennas and all that.
Can I say something about that? Because like I remember the days when everyone was like, "You gotta put like an ice pack on your router, or you gotta reset this." I'm in networking, by the way. That is my profession. I am a network engineer, so I do this for a living, and half of that is malarkey. You do not put an ice pack on your router, and resetting your router does certain things. It's not what people say it does, but hey, whatever you feel like helps, right? But I thought it was funny because I was like, do they really think that's gonna work?
I'll be straight up honest with you. I hit my golden moments when I was on a roof about in the middle of nowhere, like working mid lunch, and
Brother, I was in traffic when I hit Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat.
Oh, no way.
One bar. On one bar. And I called my wife. I'm like, can you believe what just happened? I'm like, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm right below Home Depot. Because you got to go by landmarks in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I just hit Mickey Mouse.
Well, then you plan for like something like AF-15. Like I remember, I got to go home. I get near my rotor, and I was like, right away timing on, and no, miss.
I planned for that, didn't get it.
Yeah, the way it goes sometimes, right?
That's how it goes. Booth, you have anything you want to add to this? Any insight or a story that you can add for yourself on this subject?
Dude, this is biased, right? But it's talking about AF-15 drop. That's the last drop that I went for, right? And I was so hyped. I was like, bro, I'm gonna get it. Even if it was a comment, I was like, bro, I'm gonna get it, the comment or any rarity, right? And then I was just really hyped about it, and I really got in my feelings when I didn't get the drop, right? And from that day, I was like, I'm not going for drops anymore because I hate
you're a market purchaser.
I was extremely hurt too. Believe me. That was my whole collection. Was everything was towards everything I do is to put towards my comic collection. To be honest with you, believe you.
Yeah.
Like I have collectibles, but they're in the mindset to hopefully one day switch those for comics in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I missed it too. I didn't get it as well, but I was the one of the lucky few at the time that sniped one for 85 gems before it went up, right? Yeah, so I still hold that common. But everything else that I bought or sold was from the market. I never was able to land that.
Oh.
The bots got them all, guys.
I know.
Yep, they sure did.
The wild west times, eh?
Yeah, I told myself that like for certain drops, and I think AF-15 was one of them. I was like, if I don't get this, it's so rigged. It doesn't like me, and I'm boycotting this app. And I think for a while, all I did was I got stuff off the market, like comic books was just that, and I didn't really go for collectibles until well, maybe like a year after or like half a year after. And then I was like, okay, depending on the collectible, I'll pick it up. But it was mainly like just in the market. Because for me, I'm like, I know I can probably get it like way cheaper if because I'm not like looking for certain numbers, mid numbers. So I'm just fine with whatever's on the floor because I can get it for a cheaper deal. And I don't have to waste my time knowing that for sure I'm gonna just pull a common. So you know,
for
and
sure.
that was like my whole mentality.
And the thing is, I try to justify like with certain things. I'll go and I'll be like, you know what, rather than spending the money and trying to buy like, you know, let's say, ripping packs of cards or something like F1 cards or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, do I go get the, the hobby booster packs or do I get to order the case or do I just go buy the card that I want? Yeah. And, and sometimes when you go get that card that you want, you get that card and you're like, okay, I got the card. But then you're missing out sometimes on the excitement of ripping the packs and actually pulling the card that, you wanted, right? Like,
yeah,
there's a different rush to it, right? And it's like, and a different feeling, and it carries on a different story at the end of the day, like it's, and to me, I think that's at the end of the day, like a lot of like my personal collection, mind you, it's all packed away now because I got kids. But they, like even now the collections that are out, like we can tell a story behind almost everything that we have. You know what I mean? Like even the Lego sets, like all the displays, like I remember my kids sitting at the table and building it together. You know what I mean? And,
or the day that you rushed Black Friday to get that Lego set because that lady in front of you tried to steal it from you, right?
For sure, right? Like, right? And same thing. Like I know, like me and my daughter, every week we try and beat all the Hot Wheels scalpers to the Walmarts and the
bots online,
right? Like and it's always like an adventure. You know what I mean? And you might not always get the treasure hunt or the one that we were looking for or whatever, right? Or all of them might be gone, but we'll find something, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll just, it might not be worth lots of money, but we got a story behind it.
You know what? I like that you bring. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to bring up this story right here because this just happened today, and this kind of goes with what Denny's saying in terms of like the excitement of ripping a pack, right? Well, this is Video Shane's rip today. He just opened a case on FANABLE, and what's so funny about this is like, and Denny, maybe you're like us, right? Like sometimes you buy packs and you hold on to them, and the intent to hold on to the packs or the booster packs or the ETBs is basically for value to go up and you don't need to break open the pack. But then
I wish I had that restraint.
But that's the thing, right? It's all about that because you want that rush of ripping open, and then one day maybe you get something like this, right? And that happened to Video Shane today. That happens to others that rip the packs. And I'm sure Shane's got a story because he's been holding on to this pack for quite some time. But it's kind of relative. And by the way, shout out to Video Shane because that is not a facsimile, by the way.
No, congrats, Video Shane. That is huge. That's so happy for him. That's awesome.
Yeah, but it goes back to what you're saying right there. Now, Denny, I am not a pack ripping guy because I'm a common man. I will not get a chase card. In fact, D and I just ripped Ascended Heroes last night. We should have left it in the pack. We didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know how much? So like in Hawaii, the gas stations are owned mainly by Korean families. And so instead of walking into a gas station and getting beef sticks and hot dogs, you're going to go in there and have assortments of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and clothes and commando hats and
a Bitcoin machine
and a Bitcoin machine and all that stuff.
Yeah.
In this gas station, right? And in those gas stations, you're going to find a 1x1 pack for $50. And the people in Hawaii buy them out. So
I bet.
Yeah, we could have sold that for $50 instead, but we got a $5 pack, my friend.
Instead, we got cute looking cards.
I hear you. Same experience. Me and my daughter, we just ordered one of the F125 chrome packs, like Topps chrome packs. And we got one of the hobby cases or whatever. And of course, we ordered it off of Amazon. It was the only place I could find it, right? There was only 5 left, I think, in store. And I was like, oh, do I buy a couple? And I was like, you know what? I'm sitting here for a little bit. We'll try one. And then, maybe we'll come back and hit the next one. And don't get me wrong, it was a fun time, but it took like, the anticipation of the week building up, for it to come. And then when it finally arrived, me and my daughter both, got there, and I let her rip open the packs, and she's going through everyone. And, and she's a huge F1 fan. Like my daughter, like big time F1. Like,
you ever went to Vegas for the big F1?
We went to Montreal last year. And did the Montreal Grand Prix last year. It was super exciting. My kids are actually down in Florida right now with my wife. They're down in Disneyland. They're actually I believe they're just getting
party at DennyOC's,
right? But they're coming home in 2 days, so we gotta make it quick.
Overnight.
Yeah. We're aged. It'll take 1 hour and we're done, right?
I'm with you. But so they're down in Disney right now, and they're doing the Universal tour, and that was one of the things that my daughter was upset about. Like, who gets upset about going to Disneyland and Universal, but she couldn't go to Miami to go watch the F1 last week, and it happened to be in Miami last week, right?
Oh,
right. So my son's happy because he's same thing. He's into cars, but he's more of the Star Wars, the Super Mario. Like today they went to the Mario Land or whatever, and he just had an absolute blast there, right?
That's cool.
And same thing. And that's basically their like right now, that's what we have in the house is basically their collection. Like they collect like a lot of the Mario stuff, and my kids, like my young lad's right into the video games, so he's got every video game system. I'm not lying, like from all the PlayStations, like 1 through 5. He's got all the Xboxes. He has the Nintendo right from the first gen all the way up to the Switch. He's got tons of games, and he's built this collection all on his own. Like literally, like gone through and like whether it be birthday money or he'll ask certain things for Christmas presents or whatever. But he's built this whole collection on his own, and he's all about like the old retro Mario games and the old retro games, right?
Yeah.
So it's great for me because it brings me back to like my childhood, right?
Nostalgia, yeah.
So, and on the flip side with my daughter, because she's so into F1, again, I'm a gearhead myself. I got out of F1 for a long time, and through video games, my daughter started playing the F1 game on the PlayStation, and she really fell in love with the game. And then from there, it kind of progressed, right? And then it's like, okay, now she likes F1, and then she's always
Gran Turismo.
Yes, big Gran Turismo.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
That was
you have a rig?
Yes.
Oh man, I don't have the rig. I wish.
No, daughter, she's got the full on. She's got the G29 steering wheel and pedal setup.
Man,
she's got
awesome.
She's got the full race seat setup. Like it's incredible.
CD. We could have had the whole setup. She knows. That's all I played, Denny, was like when PS3 came out. Everyone knew Gran Turismo at our house. Like that, it was like
that was my
weekenders.
Jam. That was my jam. To this day, like I hate to say it, but like I shouldn't say hate to say it, but literally my kids are my best friends. Like we video
Same
game
here.
together, you know what I mean? Like every Sunday we have like a video game Sunday or whatever, and we'll do everything from play Call of Duty to, you know, yeah, I shouldn't say Grand Theft Auto, but we do. My kids are 16 and 18, right?
Same here,
So,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
right.
same here.
So, but
We're old
yeah,
enough.
yeah, and so the same thing. Like we all have a racing setup, but she's the only one with the actual like full on sim rig, right? And yeah, and then same thing. Her collection is like she has all the F1 Lego sets like from last year. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and she made this billboard, and she's made a billboard and made them like a grid billboard, and she's plastered like, you know, and then attached all the rigs on there. It looks really, really cool what she's done. But yeah, and so and then vice versa, my son's into the Lego Star Wars. So a lot of, you know, I get the best of both worlds with my kids, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's just the best part of it all. And then,
You know, I
guess,
agree completely. In terms of like hanging out with your kids and doing all, like, I feel like when he was describing what he does with his daughter, that's me and my daughter. But instead of like Gran Turismo or F1, my daughter and I love to play Marvel versus Capcom.
okay.
We
Yeah.
get so competitive to where like we start punching each other in our shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because like, you know, you can cheat, right? Depending on which character you have. So like, she would cheat every time with Spider-Man. If you played that game, you know Spider-Man, like
100%. Yeah.
sweep the leg, you're done.
Done.
Spider-Man, sweep the leg, you're done. But
Yeah.
if you had a Sentinel, you could also blast the leg, and you couldn't do nothing about it. So like, she gets
Yep.
so mad that I chose the Sentinel. I'm like, why'd you choose Sentinel? Because you got Spider-Man as your third guy, and if you use your third guy, I know what's happening, right? So yeah, we used to hit each other on the shoulder and all that stuff. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it's come actually to a point sometimes where they make up rules where there's certain characters you're not allowed to pick, only because you know, to keep it like more competitive, right? Like you can't just cheat using certain characters that, you know, will do certain things. And
for sure.
she's like, but why? They're there, we unlocked them.
Oh yeah.
I'm like
One time she threw water at me just to throw me off. Like, you know what I mean? What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Smart electronics here.
I was like, well, no, you know, it's like splash proof, right? Those controllers.
Yeah. But you know what's really about her thing is that I consider myself a pretty good driver. Like when it came to race games, I always thought I was, you know, pretty good when it came to driving. And then when your 18-year-old daughter jumps on the sim rig and lights you up by about 3 seconds, I'm telling you, you want to talk about a hit to the ego, to say the least. Right. But yeah, like the kid can drive. Like we went to a car show there not too long ago, and they had a sim setup, and it was awesome because the sim rig was actually in RV. So the guy would show up in an RV, and he had a full motion sim rig set up in the RV, and then he had a couple other rigs that weren't motion, but you know what I mean. And my daughter never been on an actual like motion rig before, and so we're like, give it a shot. And so she jumped on there right after this guy, and this guy was on her before, and he's spinning out, and the guy's like, you know, it's really tough to drive, and da 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 da. And she jumped on there, and yeah, she
showed them.
And it was hilarious because there was like a crowd of people just kind of crowding around this RV, all of a sudden watching her drive, right? She's just this little tiny girl, right? But yeah, it was a proud dad moment for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool,
No,
man.
that is cool.
For us, my daughter is a little bit too young to drive, and my son's young, but my goddaughter. See, I used to four-wheel drive a lot. I had a 04 Tacoma TRD lifted, and that was my showroom car. It never went anywhere. That truck never went nowhere. It just sat outside. But I also had a Nissan Frontier. I had a 2004 Frontier. That one was also lifted, and that was our beat the crap out truck.
I got
And so we used to go rock crawling out on the coast over here. And over here is a little bit different, right? Because you just find a road and you go. And I'm pretty good, I like to say. so I put my goddaughter in the seat, and I said, "Go ahead, don't flip it. That's the main thing, right?" And she went through the most treacherous things where I'm just like, "Oh shit, we're gonna roll." You know what I mean? And like, she made me so proud because she put those 2 tires between 2 rocks. And I don't know how we did it, but we crawled right between an indentation, just right between the axles, going right over. And I'm just like, this is stupid, but we made it, right? And I was so proud that day, as a proud godfather, that not only I taught her how to drive, by the way, but she knows how to wheel as well. And so,
that's for sure. Yeah. That's amazing.
She knows not to clutch it or nothing like that. If it spins out, you let it go. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you.
There we go. So, well, and I'm totally off topic, but yeah, I'm a huge advocate for girls in motorsports. Like, I think women in motorsports are going to make a big change coming up, and you're seeing a lot more of it getting more popular. And I think that's another thing what's happening right now, especially with F1, why it's gaining so much traction is, I don't want to say like teenage girls, but it is. It's a lot of teenage girls now are following the F1, and it's becoming immensely popular, and a lot more female drivers are coming up. And then you do have like you had one of the girls last week or a couple of weeks ago, she was testing in Silverstone, and she tested for Mercedes first time in an F1 car. So it's like a big milestone for women in motorsports. And I think when it comes to things like that, I think especially with the sim setups and the video games and stuff like that, I think they're amazing for kids. Like, I really do. I think they're good. Like, good confidence booster, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to like knowing how to drive and knowing like just little subtle things like that, right? Like, but
and even like teenagers, both male and female, go through a bunch of stuff during this time in their life, and that's also like another like gateway for especially the female population to just have something to strive for, and to like what you said, boost their confidence, and also to like keep them out of trouble.
True enough.
Instead of doing other things with their time, they're
we're gonna have to elaborate on the trouble part, D. I would love that elaboration. But I do agree, and D can attest, and so can Raven. Like, I'm like, so a lot what we do here is like original content, and I like to write stories. I've been writing stories since I was a kid. And I love to write stories with women as the heroine or as the protagonist, not only for empowerment, but also because stories are driven better with a female lead, in my opinion.
Okay.
And so if you really watch all of our content, it's a lot of female leads. Just recently with the community animated series that we started, it's all female led.
Yes.
And that's all purpose driven too. So I'm all for female empowerment. As well as portraying them in more of a heroic light, not just a Superman or a Batman, right? Everyone keeps forgetting we got Supergirl and Wonder Woman and all in between. But I want to go to Booth. You've been quiet there, man. You want to add to the conversation?
Yes, feel free to hop in anytime.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I'm quiet. I'm just listening to what you guys are saying. I like what you're saying, but but to say what you're talking about, I was just talking to BB Comic Guy about that because we're trying to do like kind of like what you guys are doing, like, or not like what you guys are doing, but like we're trying to get together like people to stream with.
Yeah,
and then we were like,
have a conversation online.
Yeah, because it's fun. And he was like, oh, like kind of like Around the Horn, like on ESPN or all that stuff. I was like, shit, why not? But and then I was like, but I kind of had the same perspective. Like, like we should try to find like at least one girl, because like people are like want to hear a girl's perspective. You know what I mean? Like they want to still hear what women have to say and all that stuff. So I definitely feel you. Like I noticed that you guys had the fangirls and all that stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah, and one of our first. Awesome. I'm sorry, Denny. Go ahead. I'm bad.
Oh, sorry.
People off.
I was just saying that's awesome. The fangirls thing, that's amazing.
Thank you. And if you want to be a part of the fangirls, because it's open to the community, we can create and make whatever type of character you want to look like, Denny. So
there we go.
Yeah.
You can be a sea captain from the Netherlands.
Yeah,
I was going to say Netherlands.
I've asked Booth. So. Yes, Denny can be a naval captain. Ooh.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
I think I more look like Gilligan, I think, but no.
Well, then I must be the skipper, pal.
Poor Booth probably doesn't know what we're talking about. He looks a lot younger than us.
Yeah, you know who Gilligan's Island is? I'm wearing the red shirt.
Gilligan's Island, is that like the little kind of like midget guy and they're on the island and stuff?
No, that's what is that other one?
That was Treasure Island, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Treasure. Oh, that's another.
Something Island, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Island. They went
Fantasy Island. That's what it's. Fantasy
Island.
Right? Yeah. The plane. Right? Anyways,
yeah,
too
they came
old.
out a long time ago, like
speaking
in the
of
60s.
But that's perfect.
I'm sorry?
I said that's perfect because Booth, that's a perfect representation of what's going on in our community. You got a young lad like Booth, right? And an old timer like me, and we can still have something in common, you know what I mean? And a conversation about something, you know what I mean? And have an interest in something that we both share, right? And even though I'm like generations above him, you know, and he's generations below me, it's still, there's some sort of common interest in there. And I think our community is very much like that, right? Like, I don't think we segregate, and I think we're pretty diverse when it comes to everybody having their opinions and everybody kind of relating to everybody's opinions.
Yeah,
you're spot on, man.
100%.
And I love what you said right there, because and I'm gonna kind of like echo this, because we met with Chris and his family, Chris Evers, in Maui last year. And you know, there's not a big age gap between me and Chris. No, Chris, I'm not calling you old. But what was so cool about this, right? Like, we're from Hawaii, he's from Canada. He was from part of a different era from me, but what was so good, and what you're saying is that did not matter. When we went to Maui and we saw him for the first time on the beach, by the way, strangers online until we're on the beach to meet each other for the first time.
It was like Baywatch slow motion.
Stop. It was. It really was. I was the Hoff running to him, man. Like, he was the Pam Anderson of Canada, but a dude. But anyway, I gave him a big hug. But the
Pam Anderson was from Canada.
Oh no! Don't tell me that, Denny. Bad visual in my head. But anyways, Chris, I'm so sorry if you're watching the replay. The point I'm trying to make is it was so cool because when we met each other at the beach, we couldn't stop talking about collecting, that nostalgia respark, right? Whether you're telling us about F1 or telling us about your son's, collection for nostalgia video game. I collect those, by the way, myself. Or Booth kind of like relating to us, right? It's kind of all the same. And it goes back to what you're saying is this digital collecting space has brought us all together. Don't matter what age you are. It's fun. We're having a great time doing this. It doesn't matter if it's a value proposition, if it's a collecting proposition, or a little bit of both. It's kind of where the space is going. It's how we all met. That's why you're having a conversation with us. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, it's excellent. I think our community is like one of the better communities that you got in any of the spaces around, to be honest with you. And, you have you share your firecrackers within that community or whatever, right? But that's what generally, to be honest with you, that a lot of the time that's what keeps it real, right?
Yeah. It also shows that you're relevant. That's the thing I've always noticed. If no one's talking about you, good or bad, that's a bad sign. You want to be talked about, because if no one's talking about you, no one's using you, and you're pretty much invisible. So that is not the case with the people that we collab with here. So it's good to see what's going on. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, there has been an uptick in the trends for digital items in general. Not to mention that Vivi's been selling out on drops. The Mickey's and Friends really just kind of blew my mind, because that's not first appearance of Mickey or half those characters, only a certain few on the platform. But to sell out that many units is insane, and it kind of tells you what's going on. So I don't know how you guys feel about that.
So can you fill me? Is that the Digitoys?
No, it was Vivi's Mickey's and Friends.
Oh, the Mickey is okay. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Digitoys sold theirs out too.
I forgot that. To be honest with you, with the Star Wars stuff, I forgot about the.
Everyone did, right? But at the time they sold out, and we were looking at it. I think it was like 8,000 units of those things. Am I right on that, Booth? It's kind of a lot of them. And we can probably go look at Vivi, but needless to say, they sold out.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
8,000.
Yeah,
8,000. Like that's unbelievable. You got other projects that are like trying to sell out like 2,000, right? 8,000.
Well,
that's
yeah.
insane. So that kind of tells you what's happening here.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't too long ago. Like even the 1,000 edition comics were having trouble selling out, right? Like, so I think you're right. I think we are. I think to be honest with you, collecting in general is getting more popular. I think even in the physical aspect, I think you're seeing a lot more, even with the Pokemon cards, like you were saying, just it's wild, and you're seeing a lot more content creators start doing more of like pack pulls and like, you know, like believe it or not, I was watching again, I'm a gearhead, and I was watching the show YouTube show. It's called Daily Driven Exotics. And it's funny because they've actually had like one of the studios that they go to, they have a bunch of Mac on deck stuff in the background, and yeah, but they were actually in Vegas, and they're going to like essentially slot machines and buying these Pokemon boxes, right? And they'd be like $3,000 or $4,000 for this Pokemon box, and you'd get like whatever, like a graded card, a 101 or whatever it may be, right? But you're seeing the reason why I'm saying it is more or less that you're seeing more and more like diversity. Like those guys are car content creators, you know what I mean? And they're doing stuff with collectibles, you know. Like I think you're going to see a lot of popularity in a lot of different things in the collecting kind of genre. And I think digital collecting is going to get a lot bigger here over the next little bit.
You are 100%, my friend. If you've noticed on the timeline, you got Kevin O'Leary talking about having a buyer for Pokemon cards. Now, here's what I have been paying attention, because, you know, we've been in FANABLE for about 6 months, which is an RWA company. And the trend now that I've been noticing is Pokemon is super hot, and more hot probably than ever before. But here's what I've seen. It is kind of an oncoming storm, because you've always had Web 2 in Pokemon, right? We've always had the whole allure of Pokemon where like the Web 2 purists know how to buy the Pokemon. They know about Walmart and the bots. They know about this and that. They know about like standing in line, right? This is all familiar to them. Now bring in the Web 3 people that never gave a crap about Pokemon, but they see price go up. You have these kiosk and claw machines all out there for that gambling aspect, to pull the lever to pull a Charizard because price go up. Or you got people wanting to actually grab those type of Charizards like a base set. That's what I'm seeing. And so you've got a market of Web 2 and Web 3 now in this. And like you got buyers now running out of supply, because you got like the Fanables and Fidgetals and all these others out of the world trying to buy up the graded supply, because they're trying to keep their kiosks filled, while also PSA is trying to grade all this stuff because everyone's going nuts so cuckoo because they're buying every single ETB that you can find. Like I can't find one Pokemon box here on this island, and this island was easy to find that stuff because you never had anybody care about that stuff. You only had a certain finite amount of people on this specific island to buy the stuff. Now everyone's buying it in their grandma, and I think it's just crazy what's going on. And also there are some whales that we've talked to that are in the financial sector that are actually putting money into collectibles as a flight to safety, as a Veblen good. Because right now with whatever's going on, certain collectibles are not going down in price because of the war. And so it's interesting what's going on. I say tread lightly because it's hot everywhere, but that's what I've been seeing, Denny. I don't know about you.
No, I agree, and I've been hearing the same thing, that a lot of people are hedging their dollar with collectibles, and I don't know if it's more for like I can't see it really being for tax purposes, to be honest with you. Although like depending on where you're from, it very well could be,
Yeah.
However, I think it's more again, like I said, you get the fizz from a collectible where you don't get that from just money sitting in a bank, right? Like, or, like investing in a generic stock or whatever, right? If you have the ability to like pull out something and show one of your friends something cool on your phone, you can pull up like a 3D image of the Millennium Falcon rather than showing somebody your stock portfolio, right? Like it's a little bit more fun, right?
It's like this, right? Like, if you're a heavy investor in Tesla stock, you don't have to worry about Pikachu getting sick, know, or something happened to him, and all of a sudden your company tanks because your CEO is no longer with them, right? Pikachu and Charizards will still be around. The same would go, I think, if like a famous sports player hurt themselves or something, right?
True, so, very much. Yep.
But that's what I've been seeing, and it kind of blew my mind when we interviewed. It was like, I think maybe last year when we interviewed an individual in the financial sector, and he was telling me that's what he was doing. And so outside of this, I'm in communications, right? And so there are rich people that I do service that I'm not allowed to talk about. They're talking about Pokemon. And so like when you start talking to people that normally that you talk to about maybe a stock ticker, start talking about Pokemon. Something's going on.
Something's up, right?
Yeah, man.
Something is definitely up. Yeah,
so it's like retired institutional investors are now talking about Pokemon. That's blowing my mind. So,
yeah, like you can say what you want about like Logan Paul and his shit or whatever, right? But at the same time, he's brought like a lot of eyes to how much value is actually in some of these in some of these physical collectibles, right? Like it's funny, but it's just we'll see what happens with him. But more or less, like I do agree that I think more people are gonna get into the collectible space, and it's gonna be harder and harder for us to attain some of that stuff now, right?
Yeah. And we want that though. That's what I want, Denny. And I think the caveat here is we're earlier than the people that will end up eating up that supply. And I guess that's probably the best thing about being early, and also a curse, because also we don't know if it'll actually come to fruition how we like it to be. But I'm with you on that. And I think specifically if we're talking about RWA, I think that is a good on-ramp to bring people in. And here's the reason why I say that. Whenever I go to off island to go work at other places, right? I work at like high-end resorts, and I deal with a lot of IT departments and specialists. And so all these IT managers and co-managers and supervisors, they're all geeks and nerds who buy Pokemon, who love Batman and Daredevil and all these things, and have no idea none of this stuff exists. And my favorite thing I like to do is when I go and have lunch with these guys and we're in the cafeterias, I'll blow a collectible up in that cafeteria. Usually it's a DeLorean, because everyone just knows what it is, and you open it up and you can walk around in it, right?
Yeah.
And they just Google and Google, and they're like, what is that? I'm like, This is AR technology, right? And they're just like flabbergasted at that, right? And it's like, these are IT managers that don't realize that this tech has been around for ages, and they're just like goo gaga. And then I tell them it's an NFT, and they're like, I'm like, but wait. And then I show them something like a FANABLE and all the comic books, and I'm like, honestly, guys, you don't even know this is NFT tech. This is blockchain tech. The point I'm trying to make is they're not going to know what it is. They're going to open up an app and buy an item which they think is going to be valuable because price go up, and they'll never know. They'll never know the easy button that's hidden behind the curtain. Am I right, Chris? I know you're in the chat. And I think that's how it's going to go.
Mm-hmm. So. No, agreed.
Yeah,
what do you think,
Chris?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Oh, he's like, no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna.
Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic is on.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna turn my camera off because I'm trying to do something in the other tab, and it just keeps making my camera lag. So, but what's it called? Yeah, I agree with you. And you know what I think is crazy? The VV AR feature, right now, like you're saying, like, and I agree. I think it's just so advanced, and people that don't really know, when they see it, they're like, "Whoa, what is that?" Like Spider-Man, and he's walking around the real world, all this stuff, right? It's cool, but I always have this speculation, like, okay, like wait until we get AR glasses, like the Apple or the Meta glasses. Those are going to go crazy. But then you have to think about multiple perspectives, right? Because right now, if you could see your digital collectible through your camera, and it's just through your perspective. Imagine when you put that into AR space, and then multiple people with different lenses or different cameras or different glasses can see the same thing. You know what I mean? That's going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because now different people can see the same thing that you're seeing. You know what I mean? That's going to go crazy, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, I think the Meta glasses and the smart glasses are going to make a huge difference when it comes to especially the digital collecting and digital showcasing.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool to like, if someone was wearing like the Meta glasses next to you, you can like share screen like how you do it on the computer here, and they could essentially be like seeing what you're seeing through your phone kind of thing.
I think we're going to be like Tony Stark. We're going to do this. We're going to do that.
Right.
We're going to do all of these things. You're going to see a bunch of people doing this, walking down the streets of New York, right? We're not going to be wearing backpacks. We're going to be wearing these glasses, and that's it.
Most of them already do it, just their heads pointed down. That's the only problem.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But then imagine answering a call where you just whack your head and a chip goes off, right? And you're like, hello.
Right? See, to be honest with you, that stuff scares me. But at the same time, like I'm all for technology advancing and everything, but it's I grew up in that genre where y'all forget the Terminator. Like a lot of these young people didn't watch that. You know what I mean? Like Skynet is for real. No.
Man, more than ever, man. And I still remember watching Terminator 2 in the last drive-in in the state of Hawaii. And I think it was one of the last movies that went off, and it was the coolest, scariest thing ever.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man, it's unfortunate that the drive-throughs closed down. Like a lot of them, right? Like
nobody's gonna experience it, man.
No, and believe it or not, like I have. I wish I could do a drive-through in my backyard, but what I've done is I've set up a big projection screen up in the backyard, and we've got like essentially it's a 12-foot by 16-foot screen that I've got set up in the backyard, and we watch movies in the summertime, and that's about the closest thing I can give for my kids to a drive-in nowadays. Like we used to have one, and same thing, it would open. And then it would close, and then eventually it just, it just closed, and there's just hasn't been another one that's popped up around here since.
I want to tell you a story. I'm sorry, and then I'll let you go because I'll forget about it. But it's a drive-in story, okay? And the coolest thing about Hawaii, and I don't know how it is over in Canada, is when we were heading over there, we would stop. We would try to stop one of these food trucks. And the food truck was called the Manapua Man. And so what the Manapua Man provided was bao buns. And that's what we called the Manapua, these bao buns. You'd have like pork hash, and you'd have beef and different types, teriyaki. And that's why you call him the Manapua Man, because you could actually get these bao buns in his truck. But he also had everything else, every type of candy, toys, all that. So we'd hit up that guy, load up the station wagon, and go to the drive-through. And, Hawaiian family. So we bring everything, right? We bring a rug, put the rug out there. We bring all of our chairs from home because we didn't have the fold-up ones before. So we throw them up in the truck, and we'd have the dining chairs there, and fold-out chair, everything. And then we'd bring food, we'd have like a pot of chili and rice and everything. And if we had enough, we'd feed everyone that was close nearby.
Of course.
That's how we would enjoy the movies right there. It's like we were camping at the beach, but at the theater, right? So.
Exactly. I love that. That's amazing, right? And that's unfortunate. The thing that a lot of the next generation and the younger generations are never ever going to experience. You know what I mean? Like it's, they'll get to experience new things, I'm sure, but that was something that same thing. I have great memories of going to the drive-through, and back in the day we used to have one, and they used to be like load up the car for like $10, right? As many people you fit in the car, so you like,
man, we get people in the trunk, man.
We would for sure, right?
And then you open the little back back seat, right, and then get them out, right. That's how my sister D. That's how we used to get her in the theater a lot.
It's like you have this tiny little like Toyota Tercel, and like 12 people come out of it, right?
Exactly. It'd be like a full-on clownmobile, but you know, and same thing. We would like, you know, we throw a blanket up. Somebody, if you know, find a pickup truck that somebody else brought, right, and just everybody would pile in the back of the pickup truck, like. You know, those were the times. Unfortunately, you can't do those things no more. But
yeah,
you know,
safety and all, right?
Right,
something like that.
I guess.
Yeah. Before
take all the
right,
fun out of
we had
everything.
the full seat, right, not the automatic ones, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
But go ahead, D.
We had I think we still had the drive-through theaters, but I don't think I've ever, not that I can recall, we never went to one. But I do remember movies being like, I think they were like just under $4 per person, and then like popcorn was so cheap. And we used to get like the large size, and just like get extra boxes and just share that with like 4 people. And then now it's like movie tickets for one person, just the tickets are like almost $20. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're just gonna wait till it comes out.
They need to make those NFTs.
So I was just gonna say that, to be honest with you, right? Same thing. So again, big movie family. With like we get the Cineplex passes, right? So we get like a yearly pass. You're allowed to go see a couple movies every month. Okay. And so yeah, the kids love it, right? So they can go see whatever movie they want or whatever, right, every month. But again, that doesn't include their popcorn, their drinks, you know what I mean? So yeah, by the time every time they go, it's still like $25 or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But you know, at the same time, it is like, yeah, you just don't get those deals like you used to. Like you used to be able to, like, you know, Toonie Tuesdays or something, right? There was always a deal when we were growing up. There was always some sort of like, you know, one a night of the week they would have some sort of special, right? Like, you know,
like free popcorn and drink or something, right?
You got it, right? And unfortunately, most of the businesses don't offer that anymore. Like, you know, they offer Uber to your door, right? But they don't offer, you know, the come in and you know, we'll give you, you know, a discount on whatever your popcorn tonight or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's just few and far
and that's
between.
like a drop in the bucket for them, is the popcorn, if you think about it,
right?
So,
but yeah, and I get it. You know, everybody's got to make their money, right? But it just seems like we had it a lot easier when we were younger. I just feel.
Oh man, we had mom's purse back then. You know, we go to Burger King and load that purse up with Whoppers.
So good.
Or in Hawaii, we do the bento boxes, right? So we go to Korean gas station, buy some bento boxes, and we clean our rubbish up. Trust me, like we would bring in like Hawaiian again, right? So we bring our own trash bags, right? So you'd hear the big local Hawaiian dad, right? Hey, throw all your trash in here now, right? And like, grab everybody's trash.
Yeah, bud. Yeah.
So. Yeah, we got away with I'm the only one that gets like a little like purse or whatever, and it doesn't matter how small my purse is, where I think, you know, I'm just gonna carry my own stuff and that's it. I managed to fit so much things in there. It's crazy. And then I know whoever's watching, don't report me to the movie people. But like I used to have
Friar Rabbit.
I used to, what you call it? I had
that's
a
what
jacket.
The guy's name is because of his teeth.
Oh yeah. Well, he was nice. Just
he is nice, but that's what we call him.
Yeah. I used to have the jacket with like lots of pockets, and I would like stuff all the pockets with like, I think like bottles of water, like snacks, and then tied around my waist. And you know, you just casually walk in, like you don't make it obvious, right?
No.
And then you just walk in, and like we have to stop by the concession to get something, right? Or they'll think
Napkins.
it's totally
Yeah.
suspicious.
Napkins and
Like,
condiments.
yeah. So
I'll take
we
12
got that
popcorn.
down to a T.
You guys got
Yeah.
any jalapenos in the back?
Oh, well, I think that was the only. I think they only kept
Don't lie to
jalapenos
the
just
audience.
for me.
We'll bring in free food, but you're no shame. You'll go to the concession stand and ask for free jalapenos.
I
Don't
would.
give it to her. Don't
I
give it to
totally
her.
would. Why not? It's there. I paid
Yeah.
for the movie,
For real.
so I am a paying customer. But the like really good advantage was when I was pregnant with our daughter, and I brought in or no, after she was born, I had the diaper bag. Oh, those got pockets, right? So
Oh yeah.
you know, where the diapers go, wipes. Oh man, that thing was loaded. Yeah, now we're just diapers.
Yeah, for sure. Diaper bags. I remember
Mhm.
what we'd definitely be able to pack a lot of necessities in one, to
A
say the
whole
least.
pizza,
Yes.
Denny. We did this once, a whole pizza, because we invited my daughter's friends, and they eat a lot, right?
Of
And I didn't
course.
want to buy theater pizza because I would have tripled the price. So I'm like, we're going to Domino's. Mom's got a Tupperware in her purse.
Perfect.
We're gonna put
Yeah.
a medium pan pizza in there.
Oh,
You're
that's
welcome.
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, the one time I did get not pulled over. I got stopped because it was like bulging, and the lady that checked my bag was like, she looked, and I'm like, it's my pregnancy snacks, and that was all I had to say.
I'll tell you.
And she let me go through. I'm like, yes, I use that card, so never again.
Yeah.
You never mess with a pregnant woman, 100%. Just
Yep.
especially when it comes to food. Yeah, that's a fight you do not want.
What's up, Millie?
Oh yes. What's up, Millie? Yeah, it's
Oh, that's funny.
so nostalgic, and just like how easy or more lax things were back in the day. But
Yeah.
times change, and we just kind of move along with it, right? And just
Oh, you got me in my feels here, because like I got too many stories. I don't want to tell them because I'll come into the conversation, but like just the idea of
No,
like,
that's the point. I love to hear them.
you know, sneaking into the theater and just doing all these type of things. It's like that has been the cornerstone from like when I was a kid. And I remember the very first movie I ever saw in the theater was Explorers by Joe Dante. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. That's the one with River Phoenix and
Okay, yes.
yeah. But anyway, with the trash can spaceship, right? And I remember that my parents took us to McDonald's, and we had my friend with me, and we loaded up on burgers, and all we did was eat burgers throughout that entire movie. And I'll never forget that movie, because you just remember the first movie and what you did. And we had just burgers. It was like the time when, around the time of ET and all that kind of stuff. So
For sure. Yeah.
and man, like I'll never forget that. It was the worst theater on the island of Kauai, with rats and one speaker in the corner, a little PV speaker. And I was just eating burgers, watching Joe Dante's Explorers. And I'm like, this is awesome. You know,
But memories, right? And that's what it's all
Yeah.
about at the end of the day. Like you could, I bet you if you think about it, you probably even can smell what it smelled like back then, right? Like
yeah, it smelled like a moldy theater.
like moldy ass.
Yeah, you'll never forget that smell, because those smells are still around, right?
that's
So,
it. But that's what I mean. It brings you back, right? Like it
yeah, we all got asbestos poisoning in that theater. I'm sure of it.
But that's what leads us to our future. And then exactly like now, whatever, if you could find something, I'm not saying with the Explorers or whatever movie, it'd be hard to find it, probably some memorabilia for that, but like anything else, you could probably relate to that's what you're going to collect, and that's where you're going to why you're collecting that for whatever reason, right? And that's why I go back to like it's got to hit me in the feelings now, like it's got to give me that fizz, right? Like, and that's where I get it now with like again, go back to my kids, but that's where I get it from now, like because I remember it being as a kid, and then now I already got to experience some of that when I was younger, you know what I mean, the rip of the the good card or whatever, right? And so now when I get to watch my kids do it, like that's it sets me way more than when I did it, you know what I mean? It's just like a total different feeling, right? And so and I think that's like what the best part about it is now for me personally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just agreeing with what he was saying because it's kind of similar to what we have with our daughter. Like seeing her, what she collects now compared to like what we used to collect, and just her like being into like Pokemon now. Because I used to watch the shows after school, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that. And then now she's into collecting, Pokemon cards and trying to have like a side hustle at school.
Can I tell him about the
Like an
hustle? Can I tell him
entrepreneur.
about the hustle?
Fill me
Yeah,
in.
Okay, so I redeemed a bunch of cards off FANABLE because my daughter wants to sell them, right?
Okay.
And so I actually got, some of them, obviously the good ones I'm not going to give to her, right? So I redeemed a few cards from FANABLE. And so like the cheap ones, right? Like maybe the 9 or the 10 EVs, she's going to go sell them. And I told her, okay, so dad bought these like for maybe 15, 20 bucks. So what's the rule here? And she says, double my money. I'm like, okay, very good.
Smart
So, and what you're going to do first is you make sure you double your money and you leave at least a $5 to $10 wiggle room for negotiation, right? So you set a price already that you want prior to you actually showing your product, right? Because back in 6th grade, Denny, I sold everything. I sold my lunch. My friend's dad was very rich. He had a metal company. So he always used to give us snacks and they used to spoil us. So I used to get like corn nuts and Kit Kats and all got sold. All got sold because I was more of an opportunist. So I used to like
Very similar.
like VHS, right? Like all the movies, like remember Chuck Norris with Jonathan Brandis sidekick, the movie Sidekick?
Yes.
So that was a popular movie. Everybody wanted to see it, but they couldn't get to the theaters. Well, I dubbed that thing and I sold a ton of copies. And I used to transport those copies in a DuckTales Treasure of the Lost lamp case, the big white Disney ones.
Okay.
And that's how we exchange it. I give it to them. They took the tape and they put the money in there and I take it back.
Little hustler.
And I had this racket going on in 6th grade. And so my daughter asked, oh, Dad, what you do in 6th grade? And I was like, should I really tell her what I did in 6th grade, D? Like, yeah, you should tell her. And so now she's doing something similar where she's selling like, the Ascended Hero. She took them this day because she knows they're new. And she's like, oh, they'll buy these for like $4 a card, Dad. I'm like, oh, here, have them. Take them.
There we go.
So
that is a smart kid. She's going places.
She is. And so I told her when the cards come in, you don't bring them to school. You show them on the phone. And how you do these deals is in the bus or in the cafeteria or on the corner of the freaking recess. You don't do it out in the public eye.
No loitering.
No loitering. And then lastly, she has contracted her services to be the person in between other people. So if one of her friends likes another person, they pay her to go talk to them for them and vice versa. She's the proxy.
Yeah. When she told me that, I was like, no way.
I was like, really? And people pay you for that? Yeah, Dad. Because we were wondering, because she was going to a field trip and we're like, you need money? No, I got. I'm like, what do you mean?
I was like, I don't remember giving you money. And
when did you get money? Right? Because I pay attention. And I know where her wallet is, so I constantly check. Yeah. So
that's incredible.
So yeah, I think she's net herself $350 so far.
Good for her. That's
I'm like, can I get a cut out of that? Come on now.
Yeah. Wait, you know what's crazy?
What?
Sorry, is mine the mic on?
Yeah, you're up, man. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So I used to sell Pokemon cards too, right? And it's good money. Like I remember one time I only made like $1,000 in one day, but it's because I sold like a bunch of like boxes, like not like individual card, like. But going back to what you were saying, like maybe like 10 minutes ago, like because I remember I think it was 2021 or maybe 2020. That's when I stopped seeing like the shelves where Pokemon cards normally are. They're empty, and they would never restock them. Like it happened for years, you know what I mean? Like that was before like they had all those big vending machines in the Walmart now. You know what I mean? Like back in early 2020s and like kind of like 2019, they would always restock, and I would always know the day. So I'd be like, okay, let's go to Walmart, let's go to Target, we're gonna get all this stuff, and then I'll resell it and all that stuff. But then now, like before they had all the vending machines and everybody just signed up to get them, there was like a good 2 or 3 years where the shelves were just empty every single day and they would never restock it. It was just, I was like, what is happening? Like,
what's so interesting in what you say, because I've been paying attention to a lot of the big influencers that are in the TCG game. They're all telling they're all saying the same thing of what you've said now, but in now times. They're not even like card shops aren't even willing to crack cases anymore. They're going to hold them. And it's like already these guys are like, what is like MSRP for like an ETB is like what, 30, $40 MSRP? And they're selling these things for like 200 a pop. And so like to not even get that profit in that $200 pop because you feel you're getting a better ROI by holding and not cracking. You know,
you don't even have to hold it that long. Cause I remember like, I was always getting into Magic because Magic is more expensive, right? So I remember like sometimes I think the most I did was like, I wasn't really too into Magic, but I bought this one box and it was rare, but I didn't know like at the time, like there was like a special drop or something. So it was only like $80 at Walmart. And then I was going to sell it. And some guy was like, no, I want everything you have. I'll do like $300 a box. I was like, oh shit. Okay, let's do it. Like, cause there was a lot of people that wanted it, but I was like, okay, let's just do three. But it was surprising to me because I don't know too much about Magic. So I was like, dang, why is it $300? And it wasn't even like, you don't have to hold it that long, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think because on Deck Trader you can see how much all these sets are worth. I think one of the sets I looked at, maybe it's the 151s, are like in the $1,500 range for the ETB. It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
Unreal.
So, but like, you know, that's good though for the hobby, right? Because like I said, I feel like it's an oncoming storm because now you got Web 2 and Web 3 kind of like colliding together. Like it's very interesting when you hear KOLs say on the timeline, sold all my crypto for Pokemon. By the way, that's a rules, but the idea that they're selling some of their crypto just to buy into the hobby kind of tells you that there is another outlet now in there fueling this heat. So anyway.
Yes.
Well, again, like I think like you could say what you want about crypto, and I don't think it's going anywhere or anything like that.
Not at all.
That's what I'm saying. But I also don't think we're going to see the 100x gains, the 1000x gains that we once saw once upon a time, especially with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But and don't get me wrong, you're going to catch the meme coins, that are going to catch those 100x, or whatever, right? That's going to happen in the stock market too. You could, it is what it is, right? But as far as Bitcoin goes, like, I think Bitcoin's a good hedge against inflation. I do. I think it's going to do well over time. I think the technology back behind it isn't going to go anywhere, and I think blockchain technology overall is going to be the future. Like I believe I heard you once say that you're going to see everything done through it. Like you're going to see mortgage, you're going to see car loans, you're going to see everything run through blockchain. From even on your personal stuff. Like if you have a tech come over and do work at your house, I believe it's all going to be run through a blockchain, some sort of blockchain technology in the future. So I don't think that aspect is going anywhere, but I don't think that we're going to see explosive kind of gains out of it. Sure, long term it will do well. I think, me personally, I think right now I know it's running really good, and there's speculation that Bitcoin it may be setting up a bull trap right now, and you could look at it that way. I've been saying for the last little while, since before Christmas, I think Bitcoin's due for a reset, and I think the whole market in general is due for a reset, and I think that's why a lot of people are getting into collectibles, because they're it's the physical aspect. Back in the day, a gold bar would dress you in the finest kind of clothing back then, right?
Yeah.
And now, mind you, gold's taken up, but equivalently, a gold bar right now would essentially get you the best kit that you could get. You know what I mean? Nice shoes, nicest pants, whatever, top of the line fashion kind of stuff. That's essentially where your gold bar standard's going to be, right? So that aspect hasn't changed. And I think the physical, and you can go back as far as you want with whenever gold came into a form of a currency. And I think, now that we have other tangible assets, so physical assets that we can get our hands on. And generally, if one person sees value in it, then somebody else is going to see value in it, right? So
Yeah.
like a lot of and I think that's what's happening right now, is that the options to hedge your dollar are a lot more diverse than they used to be. And I think people are realizing now that money doesn't have to be boring. You can have some cool shit. Oh, pardon my language, but you can have some cool stuff.
You can have some cool shit like this, right? This is like a nice hedge right here, in my opinion.
Right?
So,
yeah. And
it's cool.
And he's got to be happier in a pig and shit with pulling that, rather than just like having whatever the $500 sitting in his bank account.
Oh. Sorry.
He had a call.
My phone. Sorry. No.
But yeah, no, and Denny, please, please, if you really have a sailor's tongue, let it fucking fly. It's all good.
Let it out. No,
I've been proud of myself. I don't think
I was gonna say our conversation before the show started. I'm like, not one. I'm so surprised.
I'll pull the fucking seal off. Let's go.
Well, I was telling you, I'm construction background. I've been on a construction site since I was like 12 years old. It's first, my first language is cursing. Like I really can't usually carry on a conversation without swearing or cussing or something. So I thought I was doing pretty good there for a bit. But yeah,
I'll fill you in a little bit about me. I told you I was in communications. I am.
Correct.
But when you start in communications, you start as a cable puller. Basically, you are a cable rat.
Yep.
And so fuck shits is part of your vocabulary. And if it's not, get out of the workforce, because you're gonna get spit out alive. If you can't take a joke or sarcasm or shits and fucks, you don't belong with us. So
for sure.
I know exactly what you mean, man. It's just that, now I'm older, try to be a little bit more proper, more professional, but I still am ratchet at times.
Yeah. And it's funny because both me and my wife, we both swear quite frequently, and neither one of my kids do. Like,
wow.
And I mean, like, not just not around us. Like, my kids' friends like literally comment like, I can't believe neither one of your kids, like, I don't think I've ever heard Madeline even cuss. And it's so funny because I'm gonna be honest with you, my daughter is literally like the spinning image of me. Like, not physically, thank God she's got my wife's looks, but as far as mentality, like, she is literally like my twin. Like, it's
brother, you and me
same
both.
as our daughter, and
and it's scary because like, I don't know if your daughter's ever tried to lie. My daughter's tried a few times. She's tried, and I tell her when she tries, she knows she's trying, and I look at her like, I give her the eye like, you know what I mean, like,
yep.
Like, dad already knows you're gonna lie, right? It's like, and I'm like, you do realize all your tricks, your tips, everything you're doing is my tricks, right? These are all things that I came up with first, and that's genetics, okay? You know what I mean? Do better, because if dad doesn't know, dad's happy, but I know everything, so you're doing really horrible.
It's funny how that works, eh? And yeah, definitely I'm beyond blessed. Like, I really can't say enough about how lucky I am when it comes to my family. Like, because we're such a niche group together. Like, literally the four of us are our best friends. Like, we ride or dies, and we all have our individual tastes and whatever, but we all come together for the same things. Like I said, like right now they're down in Disney. Fortunately, I couldn't be there, but it's kind of one of those things where they went with my brother-in-law, my sister, my nephew, and his girlfriend. So big family time down there, and they're having a blast. Same thing, like, even though they were down there last week, like I said, with the F1 Miami, we don't miss races together, so they actually FaceTime me, and we FaceTimed and watched the race together last weekend,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just it's awesome. Like I really like, you know, and that's what kind of keeps me into the collecting niche, is because now they're at that age now where they can appreciate, you know, like I said, I started them off young, like, you know, same thing. You start off with Hot Wheels, obviously, when kids are young, right? Because they're
Yeah.
cheap, and you know, like you go to Walmart, and it's like, how do you keep the kid quiet? Well, if you guys keep quiet and you know you're good, then at the end of it, then we'll get you a Hot Wheel or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so it was always kind of like, you know, and then being a young family, you end up spending a lot of time at Walmart, and of course that collection adds up pretty quick. But then being young, of course, you can't keep them in the packages, right? And so
Yeah.
then they start to open the stuff, and you know, right? And you got to play with it, and you know,
My
I
daughter
can't,
can't hold it. She has to open it. Like that's
right?
the problem. Like
Mhm.
I'm the one that will hold things. Like I don't know if you're like me where you hold the actual box if you take it out in
Yeah,
case you ever want to put it back in the box or
yep.
trade it with the box because it's more valuable with the box.
I literally have a storage unit full of empty boxes. I got
D, he's like
Oh
me.
my gosh.
like,
Mine's
bro,
in the stairwell though. We have a really big storage in the stairwell.
yeah, like literally, I have a 10 by 12 storage unit. Just yeah, it was just literally full of. Now my young lad, same thing.
That's funny.
He's added to that now too. So he's probably got about 10 tubs of. Remember the Imaginext toys,
Yep. Yep.
right? So
Yep.
he's got
Those are so
all
cool.
right. So he's got all the Batmans, all the Spider-Mans, and all the stuff. They're played with, right? But he's kept them clean and he's kept them good, and he's
Yeah.
packed them away, right? And then
That's
same
cool.
thing. He's got when he was younger, he was really into. Are you guys familiar with Thomas the Train?
Yes.
Oh yes. Our
Yes. Our
Right,
daughter's into
daughter
that.
loved Thomas the
Yeah.
Train.
Yeah.
right. So it's same thing. Kid loved Thomas when he was a kid, right? And
Yeah.
so he had, you know, same thing.
Train set?
The whole Thomas train set, and he still has it to this day, and he's kept it in
That's
real,
Us
cool.
too.
right. You
Yeah,
know what I
the
mean?
one with the motorized one, right? Like it went around
No,
my
he's got
office.
no,
Oh
he's got
the
the wooden one. The
Oh, okay. We had
he
the
got the
motorized one with Thomas
yeah.
going around.
yeah, that one. He has that one too. That one took a little bit more of a beating because it got used a little bit more, right? But with
Yeah.
the wood set, he got that one when he was a little bit older,
Mhm.
and he really did, and that's when he started because they were actually like wood blocked. You know what I mean? Like they were
Yeah.
really nice, like really nice designed set, and so he's kept that, and yeah, he's kept that in really good condition. And I think that's something that he probably, I'm hoping something that he'll keep for his life and maybe pass down to, you know, his kids if he has kids, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, same thing with our daughter because she's almost a teenager now. So there's a bunch of stuff when she was younger that we or I sold in the garage sales, or I would give it away to other kids, like when I see them at the market, and you know they're of
Yeah.
age to have those things. And like we never were really like really strict on her keeping her things intact, or if there was like a tag on it, to keep the tag on it, or you know just take care of it. I mean, we told her to take care of it, but we weren't like yelling at her to do it all the time. She just kind of like learned to do that on her own. And so whenever we sold stuff or gave things away, the people that were getting possession of it were like, has this ever been used before?
Used.
It looks like yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it's been like used so many times, but you know our daughter just really took good care of it. um our son now is a different story. He like just trashes everything and he's like a little Tasmanian devil and
Well,
just
how old
goes
is he
through.
now? He's
What's that?
how old's your son now? Just
So he's gonna be 2 pretty soon, so he's like
oh
a
my
year and a
god,
half.
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Hey, I was gonna say
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a big
So
difference in their age, but yeah, so it's, I mean, some stuff he's been getting into a lot more cars and little train sets, but
that's how it
he
starts.
he just kind of like loves just to bang around on whatever's in his in front of him. um he's not as and maybe it's like a female thing, he's not as careful with things as
My
our daughter was.
It's a mirror image of my two.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. My daughter was like, always like to keep her stuff nice, pristine, neat, and da 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 da. And my son,
Yeah.
when he was younger, he was just a wrecking ball.
A boy.
Right? Yeah,
Yes.
right. Like,
That's what I call him.
like,
Yeah, he's a hurricane.
right.
Or like a tornado. He's like, and he's like leaves.
He's a Tasmanian devil.
I love
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, my kid he'd go 100 miles an hour, and then just out of nowhere, boom, he'd be on the floor with his ass in the air, just out cold.
Yeah, that's the producer here.
He eats, he plays, he eats a lot, and then just like knocked out.
He is definitely her son, and I'm gonna say this, right? And everyone who knows D loves to eat. If you have anything, if you even like this cereal, right? Like I just literally went to eat this cereal. He must have smelt it. He runs in this room, mom, and I'm like, where did you come from? You know?
For real.
Just smelling it everywhere.
Smells food.
Yeah.
It's like and then if you don't give it to him, like hot sauce, like he didn't listen to us last night. He went and grabbed D's spoon and he put it in his mouth, and he looks at us like, Tabasco on the spoon, right? There we go.
I was like, I told you. Is that going to stop him? Probably not.
But that's how they learn, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
my old philosophy.
With him, I don't know. Like with our daughter, she had the same experience, but she was like 2 or 3, and I was eating a jalapeno, and I had slices of jalapenos, and she was like, wanting to eat it. I'm like, no, you really don't want to. It's hot. And she was like, she really wanted to try. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let you try. Don't blame me, okay? And so she had a little lick of a jalapeno slice. Took her a few seconds, and then she was like, "Ah!"
Well, she ate a Rolo once, remember? A Rolo?
Never again. Oh yeah, yeah.
It looked like a Rolo. It wasn't a Rolo, by the way.
It was not a Rolo.
We have a cat here in the house
and
too.
We have cats.
Oh no!
Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, did she just eat a Rolo? We don't have any. I'm like,
we don't have Rolos.
And then she looked at us like, no. I'm like, you just ate the cat poop.
That's a Rolo.
Yeah. She learned from those experiences
very quick.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my philosophy with parenting. Give them enough rope to hang themselves with. To be honest with you, like they're gonna learn, right? Mm-hmm. And some learn the hard way, and some learn by listening, like some got to learn by experience.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to kids. And with my two, it's funny because they both go back and forth on how they want to learn. Right. Sometimes it's, the hard way, and sometimes they'll learn by listening. Right. But
they want a lot of length.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Right. But I'm lucky. My kids are great. Like they're really they don't cause trouble. Like for teenagers, to be honest with you, like they're not out partying, they're not out causing shit or nothing. So, that's why I said the best part about it is, the best part and the worst part is they're collectors. So,
and D and I can relate because your family is pretty much our family. I mean,
I know we sound like mirrors, eh?
Yes. It's just that we're in Hawaii and you're in Canada. Chris, we got another one.
It's just another island.
Yeah. But like for me, like I'm super close with my daughter. Like she really is me. She looks like me. I feel sorry for her. But like the point is, like we think alike. We're the same. The thought process is the same. She's very analytical. And what's interesting about her being analytical is like sometimes like I will not be able to like think the way that she's thinking because I don't live in the world she does. And so I learned a lot from that. But I feel blessed because not every day, like not every dad is close with their daughter, right? Not every dad's like that. And so like I love the fact that like tomorrow, Saturdays has always been daddy-daughter day, and we don't call it anymore that because it's an embarrassment. She's a teenager, right? Yeah. But she still hangs out with me on Saturdays,
right?
And like, and even in the office, like she'll be grouchy as shit, and just plop her butt here and hang out with dad while I'm watching our son, right? And I'm like, okay, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like, she's still here. She may be like off with her friends, and we're big on social, right? Because when both Dee and I were growing up at her age, we couldn't do nothing. Our parents were super strict.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh man, that's awesome.
So like, you know, it's a similar trait right there. But anyways, Denny, we're at an hour and a half. How you doing on time?
Well, I'm great. No, but an hour and a half already. Wow. You guys have been
Yeah.
awesome. I appreciate you guys so much for having me on. This has been such an experience for me.
Let's go.
And yeah, it's been so awesome just chatting with you guys and just, you know, shooting the shit. It's been more than fun. Like more than fun for me.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just us hanging out, right? Just friends hanging out.
And that's what I said. I finally actually got to like chat with you guys rather, and like I said, all this is new to me, and so I'm not even good on a keyboard or tech or anything like that. Again, I come from construction background, so you know, like I'm really just a dumb roofer trying to thumb my way through this technology shit, right? But I'm learning, and that's been
my friend. I worked for a roofing company in the summer. You are not a dumb roofer, and we need roofers because people don't realize if that thing leaks, they're not going to call. They're going to call you. They're not going to go do it themselves, right? Yeah. But I worked the roof for an entire summer. I will never work a roof again because man, I went from like throwing tiles to breaking tiles to, you know what my job was, Denny? I was the beer thrower. Because that's what I was good to do. That was the best job I could do. I threw every Coors Light up there.
There we go.
And we got the.
Hey, that's how I started, bud. That's exactly 12, 13 years old, and yeah, the same thing. At the end of the day, all the old boys down in the truck drinking beer, and you're busting your ass. You know, like going around doing whatever they asked you to, told you to.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much.
You got to start somewhere. Yeah.
And yeah. You know, and I'm lucky enough now that I'm no longer in that position where I more get to do. I don't drink. I've been sober for since I got married. So I'm going on.
Good for you.
Good.
Yeah.
For you.
But yeah, it's yeah. So essentially, like the crew I run a really strict, clean crew of guys, and yeah, essentially, I do everything that I have to by myself now. So it works out good for me, and it gives me the freedom that I can do whatever I want with the kids, right? Then that was my main thing, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm able to pick my kids up at school. I'm able to drop them off. I'm able to, I don't miss any of their sports events anymore. And my kids were pretty active. Like my daughter, competitive soccer. My son was playing football, rugby, hockey, you know what I mean? And it allowed me not to miss any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, again, I'm going to say the same thing. You and I are the same. I just recently started teleworking from work last year. We got rid of our office. We only have a warehouse now. And what's so great is I'm now a desk jockey, right? Which is not good for my my dad bod here, but because I don't really go out in the field as much as the other guys, right? But I will go out in the field, Denny, if I hear someone say, "Oh, can't be done." Excuse me, it can't be done. hold my water because I don't drink anymore either. Okay, yeah. We're gonna go down there, and you're gonna come because, like, you know, some of the youngins, they don't want to crawl in like a sub ceiling, or they don't want to get itchy with fiberglass, and it's like, get up there, come on, take a cold shower after you're done, you'll be fine.
That's it, bud. And you know, it is. It's again, we grew up in different generations where it was, you know, what it came down to, it doesn't matter. I did it. You know what I mean? I was sick. I got up. I did it. I was hungover. I got up. I did it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's the right or wrong thing to do. It was just how we did it then. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that the kids now should be that mentality. It was different, right? You could say what you want. We had to, you know, like, I don't know about you guys growing up, but like for me, you had to, right? Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts. You just did what you had to do. And, you know, you always try to do what's best for you, but at the same time, like, you try to make the most of what you got. And I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of that got lost in the younger generation.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel you, man. I feel you, because like when I got my goddaughter asked, no. And we're not really talking about you as well, Booth, but like the younger generation, like, here's a great example is I still got my goddaughter asking me for money, and I'm like, don't you have a job? You know what I mean? They don't have lots of jobs up in the mainland because that's where you move to, right? You know what I mean? Dare I say there's probably more jobs there than here, right? You know, but yeah, so I
Likewise,
digress.
like, and I joke around and like I say, my daughter's 18 and everybody's like, oh, when's she moving out? And I'm like, that kid ain't going nowhere. Like she's got it too good here. She gets meals cooked for her, clothes washed. You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
Like that was shit I never got when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it was get out of the house and then don't come home until it's time for bed.
Yeah,
Like,
and cook your own dinner.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you better,
spaghettios in a can.
you got it right. But
Booth, I'm sorry. I know you wanted to say something earlier. I just want to make sure that you get your due as well, Booth.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I feel you on the money thing is crazy, right? But I feel like if your family can like it's always a blessing if your family is even able to like to help you with money, right? Because you know what? Hold on. You know what I always read about? Let me go to Ecclesiastes, right? In Ecclesiastes it actually talks about money too, right? Ecclesiastes 10 and 19, right? So Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 19, and it reads, "A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry." Right? And I know Denny doesn't drink, right? But God also, like Christ did drink wine, right? And then Christ is also saying, it makes merry. So like this is moderation. But then it finishes. It says, "But money answereth all things." Right? So money, and I know there's a verse that says, money is the root of all evil, but money is only evil if you're not using it properly. So God is saying like money is supposed to help you. You know what I mean? To answer all your if your kids are going through problems and all this stuff, it's good that you guys are helping them out. You know what I mean? So I think that's amazing.
that's deep. That's deep. I like that.
Yeah, and like in Hawaii, it's kind of like the same. Like you're saying, like your daughter probably won't leave. Same here, and it's like for us, like we kind of want to keep family as close as possible. It's not about like wanting them because we want them to kind of like find their own and be on their own. And I'm all for that. Like if my daughter wants to school and go abroad or whatever, I'm all for that. I'm going to try to fund that and help her with that. Right. But like at the same time, if she just wants to get a regular job and feel what it's like to be in the workforce, maybe feel what it's like to like earn tips before going to any of that, I'm for that too. And so like our thing is we'll never kick them out. I probably won't even charge her rent, but like a lot of local families do that as well. So it's kind of like been tradition around here for that because we're so family orientated here.
And I think that's awesome, and I'm very very similar. Like I try not to force anything on my kids. Like this is my daughter's last year of high school. She'll be graduating this year.
Nice.
And the kid's an absolute genius. Like, and I'm not being one of those dads, but I mean, like the kid's smart, and so smart that she doesn't want to go to college right away.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is that she doesn't want to invest in something that she's not sure that she's going to get an actual return in. And I'm not saying education's a bad return, but depending on what you choose and what you do in life with your education, it can be necessary. It can be a debt rather than an investment, right? Like it took me a long time to pay off my student loan. Like it wasn't until pretty much I was ready to buy my house that I actually was like, okay, I should pay off my student loan now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was making payments and but it was just got to the point where I was just like, okay, I just got to pay it off because I can't have this looming over my head.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the ability to do that, then it probably would have caused me a lot of trouble down the road. And not that I'm ungrateful for the education that I got, but to be honest with you, I went to school for business and, I took like international trade marketing and, accounting. And, to be honest with you, I partied, you know what I mean? And so my education was more in college was that's where I kind of established a group of friends, and that's when we started doing our own business ventures. And so I
Mhm.
actually learned more out of college
Yeah.
doing actual real things than I did actually doing the courses. Now I'm glad I took the courses because it made me aware of certain things, but I think those are things that I probably could have researched and learned rather than taking out a
Mhm.
loan and spending that on a course that at the time didn't really benefit me as much as I wanted to, right?
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and so my daughter's I think very on the same path, and like I said, she's looking at like a almost the same thing. Getting into content creating is almost all teenagers are nowadays, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So she's done some stuff on YouTube.
Nice.
More of the like she's got an Instagram. She does a lot on the Instagram, so she has like her car spotting thing that she does on Instagram, and she
Cool.
was doing some video editing for our Sunday game day. So again, like I said, we always get together on Sundays and play video games, and so me, my son, and my daughter and my brother-in-law would all jump on, and she'd make a video of it at the end of the week or whatever, right? And yeah, some of them are pretty funny. Like the kid's got talent, I'm not gonna lie. Like she does really good, and she's got a good aesthetic eye. So I think with a little bit of drive, she could probably do something with it.
Hmm.
But again, there's got to be that drive to do it. Like, look at all the work that you guys put in to get where you are today, right? So it's got to start somewhere. And so she's starting off small, but I think, if she does that and then gets a grasp, who knows, right? But I think she is smart for not going to university right away.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I agree, man. Sorry.
oh
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say. So I think it's like back. I guess when we were younger, it was kind of like an unspoken expectation that once you're out of high school, you would immediately go to college, right?
Well,
But
it was
now that
almost, sorry, it was almost
sorry.
like you weren't, it was almost like you weren't guaranteed a job. Like if you didn't go to college, you weren't getting a job. Is the way
Yeah.
when we were growing up, like it was better. Like you couldn't just have your
Yeah.
high school diploma.
Yeah, you had to have other credentials and another
That's
piece
not
of
true.
paper that said that back then, at least when I was like
Yeah.
growing up. But now there's like so much that the kids nowadays can learn just from, yeah, YouTube University. That's free, right? You can
Yeah.
learn so many things, and you don't have to like, waste, not really saying waste your time, but essentially waste your time going to an actual building and checking in for these classes, paying the loans, whatever, to get another piece of paper that you may or may not end up using those talents later on in life. Is That's what I'm
And
saying.
yeah, for sure. But if you know what you're after and you know the pathway to get there is through a certain course in education, then I
Hmm.
think that's a smart thing to do. If
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're unsure and you're just, well, I'm going to take this course just to fill in this course or whatever, you know what I mean? Or
yeah,
and that's what
Or to take
I,
space.
yeah, right.
hmm,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
So
I feel with you on that one, because like I agree too. Like for certain things, school is important, and I think if you're able to like actually go to college and learn certain things like that, it makes sense. But now these
Hmm.
days as well, kids have opportunities to also um, use AI or use social media in that sense to basically make a business. You could make a business right now and have employees, and you're literally the only face, right? Like right now, True Media is helping one of my coworkers actually. He's starting a catering business, right, of his own. Basically,
okay,
he's doing events planning, right? And
nice.
an
Hmm.
events planner is the middleman. So that's the person who shows up, runs the crew, makes sure everything's all ready for the actual event, right? So, and he's like, "Oh, I need all these things." I'm like, "Nah, you don't need any of these things. You can utilize AI to be your security and all the, your secretary, right? And you
Hmm.
can have all these compiles." And so, he went from the mindset of, "I need all these things in order to start a business," to, "I just started a business, and really all I needed was my cell phone and just a digital assistant." And he's off to the races, right? And so
Hmm.
that's the thing. Booth, I muted you because I heard some background noise. Sorry. Um, but yeah, he had all these other things, and he's doing good now, and that's because, and he's younger than me, right? And so now you got these kids that are wanting to like start a business and do all these things, and really all they need is a cell phone and time to read, and there you go.
I keep telling my kids that every time I see them with their phone in their hand. I'm like, you're wasting the biggest tool available to you guys on the planet by just doom scrolling on YouTube or whatever, right? I'm like, there's so much potential in your phone, and it is your gateway to learning to whatever you want to do. Um, and again, like I might say whatever about university or college, but I do think education is a huge thing. And whether it be you
Yeah.
educate yourself or you learn from somebody else, I think education is the main thing, whether you get it through university or college. If you can get the knowledge, like if you're gaining knowledge, I think that's the main thing. That's what's going to help you in the future. I don't think necessarily because you were able to retain a certain amount of information and regurgitate that on a test means that you are just as apt to somebody who's outsourced and went and learned on their own. And maybe you had a different perspective, but still the same understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree. There's a lot of different resources nowadays that can help anybody really, not just young people, older people, middle-aged people. Um, and yeah, even I find myself, doom scrolling at times, and I'm like, okay, I gotta focus on why I'm actually on this phone. I came here for a reason, and then I'm like looking at other things that don't pertain to anything I was supposed to do. But
What? Well,
I
it's
think
funny.
they'll have that.
It's funny because my wife she was flabbergasted that I was doing this with you guys today because like this is something that is totally out of my norm. Like I
Yeah,
don't do Facebook, I don't do Instagram, I do Twitter, uh,
yeah,
but Twitter is just more like just whatever, just a get off my chest kind of thing, right?
mm,
And it's because it's not a Facebook. I don't have a lot of close personal friends on my I don't have like family or friends on my Twitter,
yeah,
and so I can kind of throw stuff out and just kind of it get open source kind of thing there, right? Like,
yeah,
and I have my group of screen friends, I call them, right? Like, um, that I can conversate with and not have like a any type of family bias or friendship bias that way. You know what I mean on that
yeah,
personal level. But
yeah,
for the most part, yeah, like it's this is something that's very out of the norm for me to do, and it's again, it was a learning process. Like if it wasn't for going through YouTube, to be honest with you, like trying to figure out how to use VB, you know what I mean? That's, to be
yeah,
honest with you, how it all started, right? Like
yeah.
trying to how do I hit the hits? How do I pull the how do I get the secret rare comics, right? Like
Well, you're a natural with the YouTube stuff. I didn't see you nervous one bit, and I think you did a great job, my friend.
well, I
Yes,
appreciate that. Thank you. You guys made it so easy for me. You really did. Like it just felt like sitting down and having a conversation with a couple of friends. Like it really did.
exactly. Well,
Right.
I'm so happy to hear that.
You know.
So we probably have like another 10, 15 minutes, and we're probably going to run out of here. But before we do, I kind of really wanted to talk with you. I wanted to actually ask this question at the very beginning of the live stream, but I guess we'll ask it now.
Well,
Um, how did you get into Vivi? How did you find the digital collecting space?
Well, so I kind of touched on it, but so I had a group of buddies that we always kind of just spitball off each other, right? And like we go back, God, like since we were kids, right? Like type of buddies that we used to all buy lottery tickets and we'd run the same numbers, and if one of the four of us won, then we'd agree that we'd split it, right? So like that type of friendship, right?
yeah,
And and same thing, we're always, because we got different interests but at the same time, but we all kind of got into the crypto scene at the same time. And so we're all looking for that next big crypto token, like what's going to be the next big, what's going to be the next Bitcoin, what's going to be the next altcoin hit.
yeah,
And again, coming from a collectible kind of background and da 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 da. Again, like I said, I first started, I think, with like the Chills token, because they did kind of like a soccer kind of thing, and they had like a utility back behind it. So like they were doing some sort of fandom kind of stuff. It wasn't like a digital asset at the time, but it was supposed to be like, there was some sort of utility tied behind the token. And then that's when I came across the Comey, and I heard a Comey was going to be going to be the token that was supposed to be backed by Vivi. And I started doing some research on Vivi, and I told the boys about it. And of course, I got around the group, and then everybody started getting into it. And like I said, I didn't get into Vivi until I think it was October 21. From what I remember, I think I got into a Comey June of that year, June or July. I wasn't in it for very long, and it doubled. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think when I bought in, honest to God, I think, and I'm not talking big money, but I think it put like, whatever, we're talking a couple $100 just to try it out. I think within the couple months it had doubled, and my buddies started telling me, "Oh, I just hit like a comic and whatever," and I'm like, "Comics? What they're doing comics now?" Because at first I thought it was just like they're doing like, they done the Todds and a couple other things, I think, up to that point. And then they started doing the comics. And then this was like kind of right before, I think, the Golden Moments. I can't remember, to be honest with you, when I joined. I wasn't with them for very long before the Golden Moment kind of drops, kind of came out. Okay. But same kind of thing. A couple of my buddies there, and this is Wild Wild West time. So we had like, the off-market gems and the off-market sales and all that stuff, right? So the boys were making some pretty good deals at the time, and at the time you were, honest to God, you were pretty much guaranteed to win if you were able to hit a drop, right? And so I took the money that I made from my OMI, and I put it pretty much directly right into Vivi. And my plan was, my goal was, if I could get 500 comics for $500, and I'm going to be able to rebuild the collection that I lost when I was a kid.
Yeah.
In a digital space, right? And so that's kind of what I kind of started, and then it became more, and like I said, the space got me. OG Vault, and like Cabal back then, I think he was doing his thing, but OG was doing the live stream stuff. And, and that's kind of how I got in with the community. Like, God, I remember guys like Tucson and BE, and, I think Ronnie Lido and Kid Arcade was even.
Do you remember Booth, though? Because I remember Booth. Booth, I remember you.
I remember the name coming across. I do remember
PFP, right? Like, I see the PFP in chats all the time, right?
So yeah, no, for sure. But I know I've seen Booth around for a long time, for sure. Yeah. And like the same thing you used to have around on BE stream too, did you not? Booth?
Who's stream?
Informant.
Informant.
Oh no.
No?
It was Randy, right? You were more.
I think it was I've seen you in arcade stream.
Arcades?
Well, I would have seen Randy stream a lot.
Randy's for sure, right? And then our BB, are you talking about BB Arcade? Like the tattoo artist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. I liked his streams. Everybody liked his streams, right?
Yeah, Kid Arcade is awesome. He's amazing.
Yeah, no, but like and that's the cool thing, right? Like, we all kind of like found each other through the content creators, right? Like, I started watching content creators. Like, I used to watch OG Vault. I used to watch Randy. I remember Randy with the refrigerator, right? You had VV Vibe, My Collectibles, Rob stuff. I miss Rob
Money.
Stuff. Superstar Money. In fact, I told Booth this last week when he was on the program. If it wasn't for Superstar Money, we would not be here still. It was
remember when they used to like
to stay.
Dude,
the punching and stuff, right?
Yeah, they'd be like, "Hey guys,"
that's our daughter. Yeah, that's our daughter's. She loved the Superstars and the whole punching thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
that was our daughter's YouTubers. So
Yeah, they're so good. Do they still stream or in the?
no,
No,
yeah,
not for
they
a
both had
while.
babies, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah, his wife
They
was
both had
pregnant.
kids,
Oh
so
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Kids come in and life changes quick, but
yeah, they're not crazy like us, where we still stream with the kid.
I don't. That's amazing. Hey, family deal though. I absolutely love that about you guys. You guys like that's the
Thank
thing.
you.
It's you can tell like, and that's one of the things I did say to my wife why I wanted to do it is because you're a husband, wife, family, almost like I said, $1 million family, just like us kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
I can relate really well to you guys. I feel like I can. Yeah, I feel like we have a lot of similar interests and yeah, it's just been a fun time.
And we treat everyone like family, right? And I was telling Booth this last week. It's a really big open door policy here, where it's like we really want people to continue having these conversations, whether you have it here or elsewhere, right? Like it's always good to have insight. Like Booth is now streaming. We got DennyOC on here, right? You got Vivi over here saying that you did a great job, by the way. Shout out to Vivi for being in here. Denny, it made it seem
Thank
like
you,
you've been
Vivi.
doing YouTube streams for years. Great chat tonight. So that's from Vivi.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, oh yeah,
it's
Vivi
really
did-
all on you guys. You guys made it more than a hospital. It's been so easy just chatting with you guys. Again, greatly appreciated.
Of course, a Booth. I would like to actually hand you the baton. Is there anything you want to ask Denny? If you're there, Booth.
Yeah. I do want to ask him something. So, okay. So you were talking about Bitcoin, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said that there was a bull. There's a bull trap, right?
Well, it kind of looks like one, right? I'm not saying that for sure. What I'm saying is there's a potential that it could be a bull trap right now. I've been saying for a while. I do think we're kind of in that trend where I think we're in that 1 year kind of bear market, and I think we'll be looking at October is what I'm guessing is going to be our true bottom of what's going to happen here. If the way things go the way I think they're, and I'm not saying that's the way. That's just the way I think they're going. But yeah, like I do think right now, like to me, it kind of looks like a bit of a bull trap. Now, a lot of things can change in that aspect. That's why I was saying it's not one way or the other for sure. In my head, I'm not at the point where I'm willing to play on it. And I don't think we're going to see, like, to be honest with you, I just don't see us seeing like all-time highs. We might see 100,000, but I just don't see it being another all-time high move. I see us going down.
I definitely feel you, right? But you know what I realized inside of crypto is that you have to, and this is just for me, you have to tune everybody out because everybody's going to say craziness, right? But I want to talk about, because do you remember, so when Omi pumped to like almost 0002, I think it was like 1.8. I remember everybody was on Twitter and they're like, this is to the moon. We're taking off, right? And then I didn't want to FUD though, but because I base everything out, I just go back to the chart. So I went back to the all-time chart, and Omi was going up. I think at the time it was like 30 or 40% up, and I was like, okay, let's see the last time it was kind of like pumping like this, right? So it had two pumps that were above like 60%, right, like spike ups, and then after they got to 60%. It immediately retracted down way past resistance, and it continued on the downtrend. So I made a post. I was like, yeah, like I don't know, like I was like, I don't want to FUD and all this stuff, but I don't think like that we're gonna really like be taken off for a long time. I think we're gonna spike back down. And there was one person who was like, yeah, no, I think you're right. But everybody else, and I'm not saying like everybody else was like hating on me, but everybody was just like, if you listen to everybody around,
you're gonna go against the grain, right? And so
yeah. So, but if you look at BTC. Last bull cycle, it had a fake out, right? It had that fake out. Remember when it went up to what? It was like 60. No, before that. So in 2021, it went up to like 58, maybe like 58, 59, right? And then it retracted back down to 30K, 35K. And then in that dip, it was like, oh, we're done.
It went up to 68 in 2021. I remember.
No,
you're right.
Yeah.
And then it went right back down.
It went to 68, and then went down to like 30s, and everybody, and if you listen to everybody, they're gonna say oh, we're entering the bear. It's time and it's over, right? But then what was it? It was a fake out. It was a pump fake, right? And then we went back up and went to 60s, right? But so I think that's what's happening now, because everybody is just gonna go off of a very short time frame. I mean, they're gonna be like, okay, look, we already touched 100K. That's it, and now our fund is over. But last most likely that's what happened. Like we touched the all-time high, and then we retracted, and then we did a new all-time high. But in that little spike down, everybody was saying it's over. So I don't think we're over. I don't think it's done yet, because we just had institutions to get in 2025. If you think about it, that's a lot more liquidity than retail. So we're supposed to be going up at least double. If you just get retail, sorry.
I'm gonna play this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have to. That's it. Okay.
What is it?
Realistic
advice. So
Nice.
you're good. Continue.
Oh yeah. No, I just think and right, and I don't buy Bitcoin, right? I'm against Bitcoin. Not just because of although its only purpose is digital gold, right? Like, and Zombie's good. Like, me and Zombie were ranting like for 3 hours in the middle of the night one stream, and he's into XRP and all that stuff, and I'm more into XRP and XLM, because those are the real layer
I
ones.
think XLM. I think XLM.
I'm kidding.
I think XLM is going to be the one of the better ones to.
Yeah.
Go. Like,
and
I've always been a fan of XLM. I think, like even back in the day when I'm in Canada, so regulations come in and it's made it really hard to even mess around with crypto anymore. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's they've pretty much eliminated all like leverage trading and stuff like that, right? In Canada here, right? Now we'll see what happens. And they're taxing like, oh god, the taxes and the fees that you got to pay on any type of crypto right now have become pretty much. It's not worth it to do it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
sorry,
go ahead.
I just want to say before I also want to talk about XLM, because that's such a good coin, right? And a lot of these, I feel like a lot of these coins I learned about not necessarily from like watching videos, but like actually using them. Because I don't know if you guys remember Bit4X, right?
Yep.
So Bit4X with OMI, what you had to do, you had to go from a SEX to Bit4X, right? I think Bit4X is actually, or not SEX, sorry, CEX, right? The Central Exchange, right? Mm-hmm. But basically, you would have to take your fiat, then get it into any token, and then transfer it to Bit4X, right? Yes. But in that little process of going from one exchange to Bit4X, if you're using ETH, if you're using all these other tokens, it's crazy like lag time, right? It's gonna take, it makes the process a lot longer. But if somebody told me, I don't know if he was in the OMI community, he was like, dude, just use XLM.
XLM,
and then it takes
XLM's very fast, and
yeah,
and the fees are almost zero. Like,
yeah,
right? Like you pay virtually, like the gas fees are virtually zero on XLM. They're like whatever millipennies on the transactions, right? And they're really quick. I think Stellar itself, I think you're going to see big things from it. I think, like, in my opinion, from what I'm understanding and from what I'm hearing, is that XRP is going to be like your big banking institutional money is going there, and I think XLM is going to be more like your personal financing. You know what I mean? Like how you're going to do your personal transactions. You know, like how you're going to pay your rent, how you're going to pay your transfer money from one country to another. So if you got a family member in whatever in Ireland or something like that, and you need to transfer money, you'd be able to do it with XLM instantaneously and with like almost zero fees, right?
Yeah. And XRP thing, I wish I had it pulled up, or I'll look for it, but I saw this thing on MEXC, and they post like information, and they had all the list of all of the banks globally that adopted and are using XRP now. Right. And there's like in Africa and Spain and Europe, like everywhere they're starting to, banks and centralized banks are starting to use XRP, because like you're saying, it's fast and it's cheap. You know what I mean? And this is the adoption that we've been waiting for, right? Because if you were with XRP way back in 2020, 2021 with the lawsuit and everything, everybody hated XRP, and now everybody's using it. You know, like
right, 100%. Well, and that's the thing. It's unfortunate how quick like media and I want to say a few bad eggs that abuse certain things throughout the system make it harder for everybody else. You know what I mean? And it really does come down to a couple bad eggs ruin the omelet, right? Like it is what it is, unfortunately. And I think XRP got a really bad rap at the beginning. I think now you're going to see them proving that their game plan is actually a stable and smart one, and it will work, I think.
Yeah, because, dude, and I think whenever I talk about crypto, anything crypto or Web3, I always try to relate it back to OMI because people that watch, they always want to listen, like talk about OMI. But if you think about XRP and how it's getting adopted, right, globally, that's the same timeline story that OMI is going to go through. You know what I mean? We just have to, because you know what I mean? Because XRP is going through lawsuits and they were going through hate, and then they even had the lag with their last was it? I think it was last cycle or one of the cycles they didn't perform as. Whenever they're going through a lawsuit, they didn't perform as well, right? But basically, it's like an underdog story to where everybody was like, no, either like the government and institutions were like, no, we don't like it, right? And then everybody else is just like, okay, we're not gonna invest in it. You know what I mean? So, and that's the same story with OMI. Like people who fought on OMI, they don't even understand OMI. They're just like, yeah, OMI's a rug, OMI's a scam, all this stuff. And
definitely not.
Yeah, it's not. It's
definitely not. Definitely not.
Gentlemen, dare I say you're forward-thinking? You're forward-thinking individuals looking at the future to see what the value is later and not now, like how you should be doing if you're investing in a coin.
Well, yeah.
Dare I say?
And at the same time, there's got to be a certain type of realism when you're involved in that stuff too, right?
Of course.
Like, and no, I agree 100%. I think overall, OMI in the long run, I think the problem is it's hard when somebody buys into it and then they come in a week later and it's down, right? It's tough, right? Like so to come for people coming in now, like, and I think OMI's been doing well over the last little bit, has it not? Am I mistaken?
I'm sorry, you said OMI has been what?
Doing well over the last little bit. Like,
relative to what?
Relative to like say Bitcoin or something, right? It's been on pace. Am I wrong with that?
Well, we've still been in a downtrend since ever
steady
since.
One. There hasn't been
steady one, definitely. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I would say like
but
as of like milestones, like I would say like not in price, not in charts, but as in like we have new features, like we have Stacker, we have more utility, all that stuff. Definitely,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so. But as far as like the market's going, the market's overall in a downtrend, like, and that's what you're looking at.
Yeah. That's what. Well, and this is the thing about. So this is what. Okay, watch. Go to the all time, or all time, because it's not even going to show when we're on GoChain and all that stuff. Yeah. So like this is what you kind of have to look, and this is what is this CoinMarketCap? Yeah. So this is still, and I hate that they don't show it all the way back in 2021, right?
100%. You actually are missing. The public stuff is always missing unless you're like paying for like the subscription, right?
So. Yeah, and you know what I normally, and you don't have to go to it, but I normally use CoinLore for OMI because
I don't even have OMI, so I'm just putting this up for you guys. I don't collect.
No, for you.
I have 6,000 OMI. That's what 60 cents or something. Woo! Big spender.
Yeah, man.
Put a bounty.
You guys should get into. I mean, I get into OMI because I just know like it's gonna go up, but I don't know like.
There's a lot of. I'm the guy that bought Bitcoin at 35,000 back in 2021. It's still holding, so I'm good.
There you go.
Definitely.
I'm the opposite. I get into the little bit of green and then I'm out, and then I try to get into the next thing, right? Like, and that's just it. Just keeps it fun for me, because to be honest with you, a lot of it I'm doing it for fun. To be honest, like I'm your average average Joe, right?
Yeah.
But so I just try to have fun, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to make a buck on the same time, right? Like I don't like losing money. That's not what I'm saying. But I like more I do. I like the conversation on it. I like learning about it, and I like Booth a prime example, like watching the charts. Like, same thing. I'll mess around on the charts and just do my thing or whatever. And it's always a learning experience, right? And I think the more you learn, the more obviously you're going to understand about it, and the more you're going to be willing to invest yourself in, I guess, too, right? And so again, I get too diversified sometimes, and that's where I'll learn and then I'll move on to something else, and I'll kind of back
everything
burner.
looks shiny.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I can't help it. I'm still a little kid at heart, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I totally agree with you, Booth. Like, I think anybody flooding Omi, isn't really looking at the whole picture here.
They're not.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that Omi's going to a buck or anything like that. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, but I do think Omi overall is going to do really well, and I think it's the utility of it is going to pay dividends in the future.
Well, I think the 350 people watching is agreeing with you guys. So I think you're making their night.
To the moon. Not financial advice.
Yeah.
Was there another question you wanted to ask Denny Booth or talk about? Can you hear me?
Well,
can you guys hear me?
Maybe
I can hear you.
You know what? I thought that was interesting about Danny, that he was saying, like, with his daughter, right? I think it was his daughter, right? That she's not gonna go into college yet, right? And I think that is smart, because, like, the world right now, you don't really need like a college. Like, the information is free almost. You know what I mean? You could, like, literally anything. I remember when I first, like, I think when I was younger, somebody told me, they were like, yeah, I don't need to go to college because I can just learn everything on TikTok. And when I first heard that, I was like, what are you talking about? But I
used
like,
to laugh
you think
too
about it. Yeah, I just laugh. But if you actually think about it, like, you can learn everything on maybe not on TikTok, but you can learn everything on the internet. Like, you don't need to go to
the entire internet's a reference tool. Just a big
and it may take some
tool.
filtering and some research on certain topics that you might be, researching. And of course, you're going to come across some malarkey or whatever. But at the same time, there is a lot of really good information freely available for every type of, like, you can go on and how to change a car tire, how to change a light bulb, for the love of God. You know what I mean? People are going to post that, right? Like, there's just always something, like, it's, and that's the thing. Like, you really can, like, like in construction, there's a huge joke, like, I seen it on YouTube, right? Like, right. And
some needs to be hands-on.
but you laugh, but at the same time, like, my wife always laughs because I'm
going to tell you why I laughed after we're done.
Because
what
like,
do you think?
I'm a kind of a jack of all trades, right? Like, I don't really have a specific niche. I focus on roofing because that's kind of my real niche, you know what I mean? But I kind of do everything. Like, I could literally build a house, you know what I mean? Like, that's but I've never really I've never gone to the trade schools. I've never taken, like electrician course or anything like that. And a lot of it was, through trial and error, or lately, like, to be honest with you, like, like I said, I'm 47 years old, and now I'm going on YouTube and learning how to, do things that I've never done before. Right. Like, last year I tore apart a transmission. Never done that before. Right. Go on YouTube, and sure enough, and you can find out how to do it. Right. It's like,
can you make money off that?
Can I? You could. I wouldn't personally want to do it.
I know you can. And you know what's crazy? Okay, look, why? Because, well, like, earlier I was reading Ecclesiastes, right? And I'm so look, what? Let me read you guys something, right? Ecclesiastes, I think it's 12, right? Hold on, no, Ecclesiastes 7. 7 and verse 12, right? So this is still on topic because we're talking about crypto, which is currency, money, all that stuff, and he's talking about how he's a jack of all trades. So if you're a jack of all trades, what do you have to learn all this stuff? You have to have wisdom, right? So in Ecclesiastes 7 verse 12, right? For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, right? So these two things are that's how we use to pay bills, right? We use to fight against this wicked world, right? You know what I mean? And I think that's in, where is it? That's Job 9 and verse 12, right? Because have you ever heard of that? Well, I know that they say like, oh, money is the root of all evil, right? But in Job, it also says that this world is wicked. You know what I mean? And that's how we have to use to defend. You know what I mean? But
for sure. And I think, yeah, you're spot on that. Like, but we are on a, like, I like to look at it as a yin and yang, like a balance. I think we have just as many good people as we do bad people. It's just unfortunate that, you know, the bad ones affect a lot of the good ones, right? And with that, I think the good ones need to have some sort of way to protect themselves. You know, and what better way to do that than have fuck you money? But, you know, right?
yeah, I mean, not fuck. I don't know about fuck you, man, but just enough to defend yourself. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? That's what it's
and
talking
sorry,
about. You
I
know what I mean? Like,
don't. But I
no,
mean
you're
more like
fine. No, yeah.
I mean more like, you know, like you don't have to do anything because somebody has $1 over your head. You already have your own dollar.
Yeah.
You know.
And you can say anything because you got your own dollar, right? Versus
Yeah.
if you don't, you kind of got to toe the line.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and you're put in situations a lot of time if you're needing something, you know, and somebody knows you need something, then generally they have a position of power over you now. And a lot of people will take advantage of that, right?
100%.
Mhm.
I'm not saying everybody. There's a lot of kind people out there that won't. You know what I mean? I've been blessed to have a lot of those people in my life.
But you know what it is? It's not people, is this world. Because you think about, a lot of people are good. Like, we're all good people, but if this world that we're in will do evil things. You know what I mean? But okay, so let me read, because I'm sorry it took so long to get there, right? So Job, this is 9, right? This is 9 and verse 24, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? He covereth the faces of the judges, therefore. And that's talking about Christ. But in the beginning of the verse, it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So who's running this world, right? The governments, Trump, all these people, right? So if we go back to what I just had read in Ecclesiastes, right? It was saying that wisdom is a defense and money is defense. You know what I mean? And if you want to have excess money, or even if you want to go to school, what do? They charge you. They charge you for these things, right? To have knowledge, you have to go to school. You get in debt. You know what I mean? You get to pay to go to college. All this stuff. They know that this is our defense. You know what I mean? They know that this is what God has given us to fight the wicked world, and the evil man is like, all right, we're gonna make sure that we charge them. You know what I mean? Because that's what you need. You need wisdom and you need money to defend. That's what it was talking about in Ecclesiastes, and they know this. They know this, so they're trying to make money off of us, which is crazy.
Yeah. No, that's spot on, sir. That's well read.
People are the wicked.
Right. And there's
So-
only the knowledge they're willing to teach you. Interesting.
You know what's so interesting about this whole conversation was I am a person that never went to school to get to where I'm at. I learned everything by reading books, or if I didn't read books, I learned everything on the job. I failed every single time. I want to say I fell down way more than I got up. But you know, when you fall so much, you learn how to fall, right? To where you won't hurt yourself the next time, and over and over again.
Fall forward.
Yes, you fall forward instead of backwards. And so that's pretty much been my life. I've never went to school to learn to where I'm at right now. I have a career in communications. I started as a cable rat, and I've worked my way up. And Deacon even asked, like even other people too, we try to help along the way and stuff like that though. So that's kind of been my lifestyle. I've never went to a trade school, never went to networking school. I've never went to school to do stuff like this. Just read online. And so I guess the point I'm trying to make is you have the resource right here. It's all about implementing this there, right? And that's it.
Yeah, for sure. And like I totally agree. And there was this old saying, you if you grade a fish by how well it climbs a tree, you know what I mean? It's not going to do well, but you put it in a bowl of water and it's going to pass with flying colors, right? So, not everybody is meant to do certain things, and I think a lot of kids get caught in that situation where they just, they're being graded on something that they're not naturally or willing to want to do, so they don't excel at it, and they don't get an opportunity to do what they actually would excel at, right? They're, and I think sometimes you got to find that, and by just like you said, falling forward, like like failing and learning and failing and learning, and sometimes like again, I'll reiterate, like my kids, some of them learn the hard way, sometimes they learn by listening, right? Like but at the same time they got to learn.
They got to learn, and they got
to
fall forward. Sorry, go ahead.
So you know what's crazy? I know what you're quoting, right? So that's Proverbs 24 and verse 16, right? And I like that you said. So you said like you never went to school, right? And this is all you need. All you need is the scriptures, and I already know that you know it because you just literally quoted it, right? So Proverbs 24 and verse 16, for a just man falleth 7 times, right? So this is what you're talking about. You fall, and then what does the scripture say? What happens for a just man, right? And rises up again, right? So, and that's what kind of what I say. that's where that kind of phrase comes from. Like, right? I think they say like fall 7 times, get up 8, or something like that.
You know something like that. You're right.
Yeah, they're quoting this. They're quoting Proverbs. Like, you know what I mean? That's a just man. You know what I mean? That means like, okay, look, you're not gonna
stop watching me, guys.
You're not going to stay down. You're not going to stay down, man. You got to get back up, right? And that's how you learn.
But I'm glad you said that, because that was my whole point to everyone watching. You got 355 eyeballs watching. You fall down, get back up. If someone like tells you can't do it, move them out of the way, tune them out, as Booth just said. If someone is in your way, well, either you got to basically tackle them out of the way, or you need to ask them politely. Usually politely doesn't work. So.
Yeah, man. Or just tune them out.
I send a quote to my daughter every day, and pretty much, do what you want, enjoy what you want in life, because, we ain't getting out of here alive. None of us are. So you might as well have fun and do what you want.
100%.
And
I agree.
And I think at the end of the day, we all kind of lose that sometimes, but it's good to no matter what adversity kind of throws your way, you just gotta kind of keep going forward, right? Like
and the good thing is, if you have a support group, right, like for us, like, Denny, we have our family, right? But on top of that, if you do not have a support group, well, we have this digital community out here that can really be that support group. Booth, you literally said it yourself. You and Online Comic Book Guy has been trying to like get like a forum at night, and sooner or later you're going to get that, right? Because people want to be a part of conversations. Denny, you just said this yourself, right? This is the first time coming on a live stream to be a part of a conversation. I'm pretty sure after today, you'll probably want to continue in some form later. And that's a good thing, because we want everyone a part of this conversation, right? Because if someone falls and they fall face forward, you're like, I know why they fell. It'd be helpful maybe to resource that person, or vice versa, right? And so we're all kind of here, not only to help each other if we fall down, to pick ourselves back up, but I'm a big believer in a rising tide lifts all ships. We are that rising tide. It ain't the projects, it's us. And if there's no people out here to support the projects, buy the stuff from the projects, to talk about the projects, there's no projects. We are that support group. We are the ones that are really keeping them alive, not them. And so I feel like a lot of this has come full circle in this conversation. I've had a great time talking with you guys. Before we go, is there anything else you guys want to ask Denny, Booth, D, before I ask him the last question?
No, I'm good. I've been enjoying the conversation. What you guys are talking about, this is CA, Collectors Anonymous, so we can talk about everything and everything. So I've been enjoying the conversation and appreciate it.
Thank you, D. Again, thanks for the invite. You've always been so nice to me in every aspect. It's just finally great to actually talk with you.
Same here, man. Thank you. Yeah, this has been awesome. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, no, no. A great conversation, and between the both of you and Booth, you kind of gave me we call it chicken skin here, but it really is just kind of like goosebumps because of what you said and what I just said prior to you saying that, right? Because I'm very rusty on my Bible, but I really appreciate you guys coming on. Anything else that you want to ask Booth before I ask the last question?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, man. Just thank you for having me on, and hopefully, well, I could come on again and just talk to you guys. It's really fun talking to you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Of course.
Yes, it's an open door policy. Everybody here, even the chat knows. And usually, so Booth and even Denny, like you guys already see, like D does community hangouts, and that's usually when we don't have a predefined guest, and we just throw the link in the chat. And usually, I don't know how she does it. Usually, she gets people to come up and have a forum. So maybe Booth, have a conversation with D after, because I don't know how she can get people to come up and talk with her, but she's really good at doing that. But
it's hard to say no to your wife, and I'm not going to lie. Okay.
Yes, I know this. And at least she didn't tell me no that one time I asked her that one question, eh?
That's right.
We wouldn't be here if I did, yeah.
No, same thing. I'm the luckiest man on earth, and I have no idea how I ended up with my wife, but lucky.
Same here, brother.
Bless, yeah.
And as the luck has to say, here's the final question. You can ask us anything, just as long as it's not my social security number, because I ain't giving it to you.
To be honest with you, I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me on. It was an absolute blast. Like, I really had like a great time with you guys. And like I said, I've never even been on a Zoom call before, man. So
what?
No, like for real. This is like, like I have a hard time FaceTiming my kids, but no, this is, like I said, got me out of my comfort zone. I'm so glad you guys invited me. I really had a really good conversation with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation too. Yes. And maybe we could do it again one time for sure. Maybe I can, I don't know, maybe eventually get a webcam and show you some of what we got going on in my crazy house here, but some of the collection that we got. But
that'd be cool.
I did post a thing on Twitter there going on and give a little showcase of my young lad's bedroom.
Yeah, Ronnie looks like he said like we were getting teased or something. I saw a comment.
Yeah. So I haven't got a webcam yet, but yeah, if you go on my Twitter, you can see kind of a little bit of what my kid's got in his back room there, or in his bedroom.
This right here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
His daily bugle is his pride and joy there. And then
we're gonna imagine that's Denny right there, everyone.
That's me there.
Hey.
Yeah. And then
he's got one of the lays.
Yeah.
The colorful lays.
Oh, he does.
I did. That's what I said.
Yo, you got this one right here.
I put the Aloha. Yeah, I was all ready for Aloha Friday. So
that cool. Is like the one prop I've always kept in the background is this lay.
That's amazing. So yes, again, you guys are so awesome. Everything you guys do in the space is just incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, like again, I try to tune in as often as I can. I might not be as active in the chat just because, to be honest with you, most of the time I'm on the TV. So at that time, and it's just that's why I don't chat a whole lot. Yeah, but I'll definitely try to be more active as we go on. And again, just thanks for everything, Booth. It was great talking to you. I enjoyed the conversation. Really appreciate it. And yeah.
Well, don't leave yet, because I would like for both of you guys to enter the giveaway. Hashtag ahoy ahoy in the chats. Both of you enter that in right now. I'm gonna do a little bit of conversation here before we get out of here. I wanted to. Oh, by the way, the giveaway is supported by Get to the Comics. I'll show you guys exactly what the giveaway is from Osmond Collects in just a bit, but I wanted to give a sneak peek. I am a little bit behind on the episode of The Rider. I was just busy this week, so I should be able to get it done on Sunday. I've had people in the DMs asking me about this already, and I'm so happy that people are okay with us moving to animation. You will not be disappointed. And And then also we are revamping the True Media show. It's taking me a while to do that as well. So stay tuned because it's going to be a new style, new format with this specific show. And you're going to see me going live unannounced once in a while during this show to talk about everything in the space throughout the weeks. On top of that, we are working on hats. Yes, this is an actual adjustment of the hat that we're going to be sending to a distributor to try to make this thing a reality.
That's awesome.
We're totally doing that. And then one other thing. Did I forget one other thing here? I did. Hold on. There is one more
I'm a big
thing.
fan of the mesh back. I love that style.
Oh, me too. I'm a trucker fan. There's one more thing I do want to tease here that I forgot to add. I'll put it up here right now.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Go ahead.
Because I see him in the chat. Nerds unite, Sully. Every time I see his PFP, I'm like,
Is Sully here?
Yeah.
Nice.
His song when like people do certain chats in his chats. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, that was random.
Sully, shout out to Sully. Thank you for coming here, man. Appreciate you guys. Let's go, guys. We are actually working on trying to make this real, of a real TCG collectors of the fangirls. And already, I mean, obviously, we're not going to put anybody that doesn't want to be on a card, right? But like for now, this is kind of what it would probably look like. And also, we are looking at getting back into NFTs because after talking with our legal counsel, they said it was okay. So we are looking at something like that. And this is what NFTs would look like from True Media. So this is just a preview of what they could look like. We're not sure if we're going to settle with a POAP system yet. I'm not 100% sure yet. So, and then this is what they would look like in physical form. So
awesome!
Oh,
yeah,
so cool.
And
is that
it's a real thing? What's that?
Is that a what are they called? The ABC?
KCB. Yeah,
KCB.
Call Bees. Yes.
K called Bees. Yes. Is that one of them on the? Sorry, this is.
Yeah. So that's.
Are they coming for you? Usually they're coming for me.
We got to tell the story. So there's a story that Dee needs to tell later on in life on why I keep saying the cops are coming for her. Maybe for another time. Maybe a late night story with Booth.
That's not recorded.
But yeah, no, this is a kid called B. So in the Fangirls, we have a villain. This is the villain, and this is actual. This is Meta Beast. If you guys ever watch Future Watch, he's a real person that co-hosted with us. This is his beast, and he wanted to be the overarching villain in Fangirls, and he is. He's very Thanos. He's the Thanos of the villains in our universe. So, I mean, obviously that's Raven, D, Big Bro. This is Saloni. That is Millie right there. And no, Millie, we're not going to go print cards of you. I'm just saying this is an example. But that is Millie and stuff like that. So this is what we're working on making a fruition. This is something that is totally in the works right now. And we're hoping to get this sometime scaled away soon. So there's that. And shout out again to Video Shane right here. I want to give a shout out to my brother Shane for pulling this giant size X-Men on the FANABLE platform, guys. And if you guys were watching me on Thursday, they do have Amazing Fantasy 15 in their inventory. I saw it, Slops. You couldn't hide it. So
so Hananu, right?
Yeah.
Hananu. So real quick before like I know it's getting late on that stuff, but how does that work? So on FANABLE, so there's a physical and then there's NFT. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so how this works is this is an RWA. So here's a great example. This is my collection right here on FANABLE, right? So this card exists on FANABLE as an NFT. And so it's tradable, sold in the market. I believe there's some royalties that follow with this depending on when the sale is. And it's all trackable via the blockchain right here. This is obviously no one's bought or sold this thing, but you would see activity in here. You can also track the user's activity. So you can see everything I've done throughout the lifetime of the platform, as well as everyone else as well. And how you do this, Booth, is you can do it in two ways. You can either, and by the way, we're not sponsored anymore. I'm just explaining to him how this works. You can basically go to a kiosk. This is the cheapest one. And you can pay $25 to win a chase card. And they've got from $800 down to like probably 22, and so they have your odds of your pull rate, and that's one way to attain the physical and digital. The digital is here, physical is sitting in a Brinks vault, safe, and you don't have to deal with it, right? Another thing you can do to buy this stuff is in the marketplace. And these are also NFTs. Like, here's a great example. Here's Absolute Batman #1. You could buy it here for $199 from the Nerd Cave. Shout out to Nerd Cave. And when you buy it, this gets burned off the blockchain. It no longer existed because now you're going to get the physical. So you have the digital representation of your physical. You don't ever have to have it with you. You can flex and show it off on your phone. And that's the idea of these projects and products, right? And if you don't want to leave it on the platform, you can bring it home. And I believe I brought home 10 comics and I paid like $30, $20-$30. So yeah, and that's how it works with these RWA projects.
So with that one that you were showing, like the comic, right? And that was yours, right?
No, that was actually a comic in the market.
Well, let's just talk about like yours, right? So when you buy like an NFT, like a digital one, right? Do they send you the physical, or
So here's how it works. When you buy this, the physical sits in a vault somewhere. You own it already. It's in Brinks, and so it's yours. And if anytime you want to bring it home, the digital, the NFT disappears off the blockchain. Because right now you can trade in the blockchain where you don't have to ever sell this on eBay or trade at a trade store and the slab gets cracked or whatever. You don't have to deal with any of that. This constantly sits in a vault. You own it. You own the physical, and that NFT is basically your ownership certificate to the physical. And the day you decide to burn that NFT, you burn it, it leaves, and that physical comes to your doorstep.
Yeah.
So what if I wanted to burn the physical?
Well, that would suck.
Want to burn the physical?
Yeah, so this is where we go like clash heads, like, because I'm full DJ and NFT. So I'm pro NFTs, right? And I feel like you guys are leaning more towards physical, and that's all cool. But I have
I know where you're getting at, but let me add one more caveat. This is a one of one towards that NFT. So this NFT is only paired to one physical. So if you burn this physical, you just burn $4,000, right?
Yeah, but now the NFT, digital.
But that's not how that works. We're using NFT. This is not like a comic book on Vivi. This is a digital representation of you owning that physical. Has nothing to do about NFTs and owning a ton of NFTs. They're using NFTs and blockchain tech to give you that digital ownership of a physical, tangible item that you don't need to hold at home. That's how this works. If you decide to burn the NFT, you're not going to get no value because it doesn't follow the same NFT structures as Vivi, Candy, and all these other guys.
One-on-one.
Correct. It's not all digital versus physical.
I know, but okay. So I thought of this idea because I think I was just listening today, but I heard it a while back because Raul is worthless without the. Okay, I feel you, but Raul Paul said, and him and his friend, they were like, I forgot what it was. It might have been FANABLE. I don't know what it was, but he said that he got the digital and he got the NFT representation, and he said that he burned the physical so that the NFT can go up in value.
What did he?
And burn? I was like, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I have to see.
He didn't burn X-Men #1 because he would be.
It wasn't. It wasn't. But I want to do that concept because that sounds like a cool concept. Because then, if you think about it, the only thing that can prove that it existed was the NFT, right? Because you burned the physical.
Yeah, but like again, these businesses, they thrive off the burn. Because the market sale, they make money in two ways: selling these things and getting fees off that, and then constant transactions in the markets to get fees off that. So the burning mechanism is part of the product. And that's why I'm saying again, like, and I understand where you're coming from. It does not exist in this type of product because this product is all about the physical matching the tangible item, and that's it. It's a certificate. It's like if I were to buy a car or a house, it would come with a digital representation of your mortgage. That's the same thing with these. So if you're not going to burn your house and keep the digital representation of the mortgage, right? Like, hey man, I've got the White House, but I don't want the White House no more, but I'm going to keep the NFT, right? It's a cool concept, but I doubt anyone would do that because like this is more of real world asset tokenization. And so that's why people like the CEO of GameStop is buying eBay. He wants to tokenize everything. This is my assumption, because eBay is one of the biggest marketplaces out there for tangible items. They also hold all of PSA vaults. PSA is partnered already with eBay. So you got GameStop with the power packs, and they're wanting to get into TCG. They said it themselves. Well, how do you get into TCG? How do you actually get a bona fide market? Because you don't really have one, because their market sucks. You buy one. You buy one with all the rails included with it. And if you can provide the easy button to access all those tangible goods via the RW market tokenization, well, you got a pretty killer money-making machine. I think that's what he's doing. I could be wrong, but
no, I like your thought process on that for sure.
Because he's been saying it in interviews, what he wants to do. He's been speaking.
I understand. So, okay, let's play this. I'm not going against what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, let's just like, because degens are about money and they're about stupid decisions, right? So, and I understand it goes
makes
against
the business model work.
Right. No, I'm trying to say is like, okay, like if you burn the physical and now all you have is the NFT, people, that's a way to double or just increase the price of your NFT. You know what I mean? Because people will be like, DJs will be like, dude, the physical is gone. All we have left is the NFT.
But
so
what's
that's priceless.
associating with that NFT?
Like burning
what's
the
associated
receipt?
With it?
Or it would be
you're burning a receipt. That's what you're doing.
Sorry, it'd be keeping the receipt and burning the product. This essentially is what you'd be doing.
But so think about this, like think about like old civilizations, or think about anything that has been in past. How do we know that it was here? Because there are signs, or there are remnants of it, right? That's what the NFT is. It's saying like, okay, this physical thing, it was so great, it was so sought after, and now it's gone. And the only thing that we have left is this NFT.
This is not licensed by Marvel. This is not a licensed NFT by Marvel. This is a scanned image of the physical, tangible representation that's supposed to be the representation of ownership. This is not a Marvel NFT. So if you burn that physical item, this is going to be worth nothing, because Marvel did not sign off on this. The one on Vivi will. And so like that concept works if this was licensed NFTs. They're not. They're a receipt of you buying this tangible item and you own it. You can trade it on marketplaces, that receipt, that digital good. That's all these are. And I get what you're trying to say, but unless it's licensed by Marvel, you own a picture. So
no,
you know what I mean?
No, that's true. Yeah, I didn't know that they weren't licensed by Marvel. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. But I know. I'm not trying to say like I'm not trying to go against the concept, because I understand the concept. But you're saying like it's just a representation, right?
Well, no.
I'm trying to say like
I'm not trying to say this is a proven business model that both D and I have been a part of for 6 months. So it's not a concept. I was just trying to explain that this is how the business works. And I understand where you're coming from as well. But in the business that this is representing in, it won't work because it's not licensed NFTs.
Now, if there was like multiple of those NFTs and say one person decided to, for whatever reason, burn their NFT, then I could see the other NFTs going up in value. But I couldn't see in a situation like that where if you burn the physical, it would inside any
well, if you think about it, how would you know? If you burn the physical, what is left? All that's left is the NFT.
If it was licensed.
I understand that, but it would have to be that's where
licensed.
I agree. If it was a licensed product and it was an exact replica digital format of like a VB comic, that was the last representation of it, I could see that. But if it's just an image, like a PDF or like a scanned image, I don't think that would entice as much value as the original physical. Now, and I'm coming from a biased section of this because I do think physicals still have quite a value to things, and I do think that in the long run you are going to see a lot of migration with like this, like any type of shared ownership or anything in the future. So, say if you another thing like you said with the GameStop buying, say if they open it up so where they do they got a say an AF-15 certain graded, and they value it at a certain amount, and they make a certain amount of NFTs based off of that value. So say, the comic is worth say $10,000, and they do 100 NFTs out of it, then they divide that by 100, and that would be your base part. And then if you decided to whatever, burn or do whatever, then the value of the comic would, or the value of the NFT would go up, obviously, right? But there'd have to be some sort of incentive to burn that NFT then.
Well, so I understand what you guys are saying, but this is where I might have got confused. I thought that it was like VV, like you can open. So that's just the cover and just the back. Like it's not like
so this is exactly how NFTs should be used. This is like us tokenizing this is tokenizing physical goods. That's what RWA, the whole industry of RWA is. So this is what's going to happen with your house, where you tokenize your mortgage. And so that tokenized mortgage, assume this is like a mortgage, is going to be the representation of the physical asset. It's like one day, hey, Denny, you want to buy my house? You want to trade houses? We're going to trade these NFTs, which is attached to that tangible asset. And then Denny's going to get my house. I'm going to get his. And that's how we get the physical goods. That's all it is tokenizing a physical asset. This is the real comic book tokenized, but it's not licensed by Marvel. How these projects are releasing these digital goods is they're getting the license specifically from Marvel. Marvel's allowing them to release the covers, how they're supposed to look, as well as the interior designs of all the panels. These are tokenized assets. That's all they are.
You said blades of grass.
So that's the difference, right?
I understand what you're saying. Like, no, but so I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, like it's an NFT basically is is a physical or is a digital representation. But my misunderstanding was I thought it was like VV, to where, because VV, those comics are licensed, but it's not the representation of it, right?
They don't have a tokenized physical asset attached to it, like a house to a mortgage.
Yeah, there's no physical counterpart, but what it does do is that it's an actual comic. So I thought that these were on top of being the physical representation. I thought it was actually as well. Like, I think you could actually open it up and see the pages too. So in my head, I was like, okay, like if
that would make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah. So I was like, if you burn the physical, all we have is the digital that you could read. Like that's the only one that you have left. But if you can't open it, then I'm like, yeah, I understand. Okay, now I see. Like, yeah, it wouldn't work. I thought it was like BB, but then added on a digital representation of it.
Yeah, no, I got your concept for sure. And I think a lot of people are, you're not the only one, Booth, that's been talking about this. Like I've been sitting in a lot of Web3 KOL spaces, and everyone now is getting into this because you said it yourself, degens like the degens, they're watching people pull Pokemon cards. I even heard Dave pull a really good One Piece, and now he's going to send it home and all that. But the point is, when I hear these guys talk about this space and they don't know much about it, they are also confused. Like, what happens if I burn the NFT? Do I lose? And they don't get it, right? And unless you're understanding how the RWA industry works about tokenizing assets, then I can see how it'd be confusing. It's really just, you take my phone and now I want to tokenize my phone, and now my phone is an NFT and my phone's sitting in a vault. And if somebody wants to buy my phone, they can buy it. And then the vault sends them my phone. That's basically how that all works. So, in a nutshell. But anyways, any other questions, gentlemen? It's been a fun conversation, and it's also been a very, very interesting conversation. We've had a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I think we went a little bit off the topic a couple times, but I think all in all, it was great. It was fun.
We brought it back in, guys. But that's what
are you guys going for Yoda tomorrow?
Booth. I already know the answer, but I gotta hear it.
No. I don't do drops. Yeah.
I know D did pretty good on
them, bro. Sorry.
D did pretty good on the Millennium Falcon there last weekend, didn't she?
Oh yeah, I got number 73.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's like, I think maybe my second 2-digit mint of anything on the app. Usually it's like a really high number or just commons.
I almost FOMO'd in, but I was working and just got caught up. And when I went back and I looked, it was sold out. It shocked me that it sold out as quick as it did. Actually, I'm kind of expecting something similar with Yoda. I think there's a lot of hype behind it. I'm excited to see it on the app. I'm not necessarily going for it. I think a lot of people, I think anybody that does hit the numbers that they're looking for are going to do well. But yeah, me personally, I'm probably going to skip as well.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Market, probably.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the market.
I'm thinking the same thing. Yeah.
I love the name of the
Don't pull me up.
Studio.
Everybody, TBB is in the studio. He probably just wants to hear the real time and not the delay. So
yeah, and just real quick,
shout out to the biggest bro.
Yes, Mr. TBB. Yeah, thanks. That's what I was gonna pull up.
Go ahead.
Oh, so Sully's just giving us a friendly reminder to anyone who collected Funko NFTs. Drop site shuts down at the end of this month, May 31st. Make sure to transfer out all NFTs and USDC before then. Yes.
Oh, that reminds me, the candy migration.
Yep, candy migration. Also, make sure you are an active fan. Log into your account real quick, just to make sure that you're an active fan before May 20th.
Is that all it takes? Is just logging in and just checking in?
Yep.
That's all it takes. Do you have to do it just once, or should you be doing
just
that
once?
Just once. Yeah.
Just once. Yeah. And I believe if you do it now, then they waive the migration fee, as well as you're not going to be charged for a custodial fee monthly. And I think they're really just doing that to say, hey, log into your account. Really, all you got to do is log into your account to avoid all of that, right?
They did something where they doubled your account balance, I believe, or something. Is that what happened?
That I didn't read. Was that just came out today?
I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I just looked on my account and said that whatever. I didn't have much on there. I think I had like $2.63, but it said that I had $5.70 something cents worth of credit. So
I wish I had $1,000 in there, huh?
I know. I was thinking the same thing, to be honest with you. Right. So I don't know if it's just if it's candy credits or what. And I hadn't been on in a long time, to be honest with you. I completely forgot about it until you guys had mentioned it the other night on stream.
Oh, what'd you pull? I heard something. Are you opening a pack? Are you opening a pack?
No.
I heard something. Pokemon.
I'm going to send him an RWA. He's going to get the first RWA from me.
Sorry,
No,
I just heard that.
I like that you guys talked about that, because it opened my eyes to the NFTs are really only utility. You know what I mean? Like, because you're right. Like, if you burn the physical, then what is the purpose of the NFT? Like, it's only utility. Like,
or just the
it's only a
part,
use,
right?
Yeah.
But no. But I still want to send you a RWA. But we'll talk about that after. But guys, let's get into the did I close the giveaway? No, here it is. Oh, thank goodness.
Too many tabs open, eh?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, let's get in the giveaway right here, guys. If you want a chance to win something from Get to the Comics, please type in right now, ahoy, ahoy, and I'll show you guys what you won. Shout out to Osmond Collect 63. And then Booth, since we got you here, how was it on Get to the Comics?
Oh.
What?
How
was that on what?
Yeah, how did you like it on Get to the Comics?
Oh, you're talking about Osman. Oh, okay. That was so fun, right? That was so fun. And I want to do that again, right? Because I've never opened a VV comic, and I had to buy that one so that. I
think everybody bought a comic to read on Get to the Comics.
But I was like, okay. But yeah, and that's the only ever VV comic I've ever opened, because I don't want to open mine, right? I know it's not a thing. I know it's not official, but. Sorry,
I'm in the same boat. I'm worried that they're going to announce one day that if you read them, they're going to be like a different grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, question before we go, because I'm a big believer in the rule of attrition, and I know you know what that means, DennyOC. If you've been collecting since you were a kid, we don't have, and I've talked to you about this before, Booth. We don't have a proper way to actually implement attrition in a digital world unless there's a burn mechanism, because you can't get rid of supply, right? It's not like you can throw away an NFT or crumple an NFT, but you can open the book, and that would cause a type of attrition. The more times you open that book, the more time that book gets sold adds attrition, right?
I love your
Because,
philosophy on this.
you know, it's exchanging hands so many times.
You know what you have to do? You have to. You talk to California Comics, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't he? So he was saying that he's coming up, or either he's coming up with one, or he has made a grading system.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
DGC.
One of the owners is actually in the chat, Chris. So,
Severs,
and I love what they're doing right there, and I love the fact that like it's community doing these type of things, right?
Yeah.
And that's stuff that you guys like, and I like that because I think Kid Arcade did a personalized one, and that's one that I really want to do with DGC is a personalized one, like because we're gonna be start making NFTs soon here at True Media, and so I would love to do like a personalized True Media NFT and have them grade that for us. So, Chris, hey, look at that! Yeah, he heard us. So, yeah, I'll shoot you a DM later. But guys, enter the giveaway. Ahoy! Booth, Denny, did you guys enter?
I believe so.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good luck, and may the juju be with you. And since he's not here, you're in luck. I think one of you guys will win. It's the Comic Guy. And Comic Guy, I know you've got one of these, but you're getting another one. Shout out to the Comic Guy right here. And this is from Osman Collect 63. Shout out to Get to the Comics. And I'm a big fan of Superman and Batman, and this is an infusion of them both. So shout out to the Comic Guy. I already have your
That's so dope. That's so cool.
Yeah. So, and I know that Oz might have some more of these laying around, so you guys might want to check out Get to the Comics some more. But shout out to the Comic Guy, and thank you everyone for joining us. This has been an awesome conversation. I'm not sure if Bro is covering. Actually, you're in the chat, Bro. Are you covering Yoda?
Yes.
All right, guys. He's covering Yoda, so if you guys can go and check him out tomorrow, because he's gonna be chilling out with Yoda right here. So go check him out tomorrow at the True Drop Show. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining us. We have 400 eyeballs for watching us. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Why are we laughing? What happened? Not a mandate with Oz, but still awesome.
Close enough.
All right. But this has been awesome. Denny, any last thing you want to say to the community before we go?
No, just I thank everybody in the community. They've always been awesome and more than more than willing to help in any situation a lot of the time, right? And that's what makes our community so great. I think, right down from everybody that we chat with on a at least a weekly basis, I think it's what keeps this thing really going, to be honest with you, for the most part.
Yeah. Great. And I would love to see you at a in real life event. Keep that in mind.
Believe me, I'd love to, for sure. I'm working on that right now. It's kind of the reason why I'm still in Canada right now. But no,
we're in Hawaii, man. We know.
Yeah,
body of water around us.
Yeah, but there's some upcoming plans and changes, so we'll see what happens for sure.
All right.
Awesome.
But again, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate the time, and I had an absolute blast, guys. It was so much fun.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Fam. 3 hours into it, and I can't wait to hear you and your son. Maybe if they want to join on Oz's show and hear some of the voices, right?
What nights do they do that? Sorry.
Friday. So it's
Friday?
usually Fridays at 10, 11, 12, 1 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
But if he also does like pre-recordings if you can't make that specific time, and then so you guys will record, and then he'll put it out on Friday, but it just won't be like a live show kind of thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll touch base with him and see what's up.
I put his contact in the chats right there. That's his YouTube channel.
Okay,
watch a couple episodes and check it out. I think D and I was on with them last week. We read The Ordained #2 with Chris Severs.
#2, yeah.
And a Booth. I couldn't buy that book, Booth, because that book was worth like $300. or $400 now.
It was
so.
420.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I had to read the book on the screen, and that was tough.
Oh, last time you were on there?
Yeah, because I couldn't buy the book because it was 400 gems.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's good. That's crazy, right?
It does sound like that's a good time, though. It does.
Yeah, I love Oz, but Oz, I don't love you that much. 400 gems. I'm not buying the book.
Yeah, that's the beauty of sharing a screen. You just gotta squint extra, but yeah, better than 420 gems.
And Booth, you have a show tonight? You gonna be streaming tonight?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. At 10, I'm gonna go on with Rob Cooks.
Sweet.
We're gonna talk it up.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, man, he's cool. I like his streams.
Yeah. And even online comic book guy and Booth, I'm gonna say this again. I love that you're streaming. I love that online comic book guy is streaming. Rob Cooks, if you're in there, I love that you're streaming. Everyone that's decided Zombie, Bill and Zombie are my favorite. And Bill and Zombie, I am making that song. It is coming. So stay tuned for that. But like just the new people streaming, Jan Collects is doing drop shows. This is what we need. Like I said, a rising tide lifts all ships. The projects are not the ones that's going to rise. We are the tide, and we're going to help them rise because we are the one that's going to help bring people in here. So keep doing what you're doing, guys. I love it. D, run the show.
Yeah, just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's shown up. A lot of eyeballs, 400 eyeballs plus. And yeah, just appreciate everybody for tuning in, watching, or even catching the replay if you're not able to make it. Really awesome to see returning faces, or I guess names in the chat. So thank you everybody for being here. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Just a reminder, not for myself, but make sure you wish Happy Mother's Day to the lovely women in your lives. Get them some chocolates or a flower, or just be there for them, or just call or text them if you're not able to be there, and just wish them a Happy Mother's Day. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. It's still light out here, so we may end up going outside with the kiddos just to get some fresh air and out of this house for a little bit. But yeah, I appreciate you, Booth, for hopping on and conversating with us, all the random talks that we had. And I just really appreciate you too as well, Denny, for being brave and saying yes and coming on. And yeah, it was great. You're just like a natural, couldn't even tell this was your first time. So thank you for taking the first step and saying yes and just hanging out with us. It's been really fun.
No, it was my honor. Honest to God. Thank you, guys.
Let's go. And guys, with that being said, that has been the show. We will catch you tomorrow on the TRU Drop show for the Yoda drop, as well as next week, guys. And also, if you haven't yet, have a beautiful weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Take care and aloha.
Let's celebrate the weekend.